the Cardinals on Fox Sports Net from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. The Cardinals and Expos meet tonight in the rubber game of their three-game series, and this is the Redbirds' lone visit of the year to Olympic Stadium. That's the crowd for tonight, folks. Not many in attendance. The Cardinals and Expos in game number 3 of this three-game set. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Olympic Stadium. I'm Dan McLaughlin, as some Cardinal fans have made the trek north of the border here to Montreal. The Cardinals start today up by 4.5 games in the NL Central. The Mets have already lost today at Shea Stadium, or rather the Reds already lost today to the Mets at Shea Stadium by the score of 2-1. So now the Reds are 4.5 games back in the NL Central. Tonight, Pat Henkin will get the start. Last night, Rick Ankiel not very sharp, especially early on. 4-0 was the final. Then, of course, the other night in game number 1, Darryl Kyle was outstanding in picking up victory number 13, and the final was 4-0 in that game. So Henkin tonight for St. Louis. Let's take a look at the standings in the NL Central. Updated through this afternoon. It's a getaway day, so many of these teams have already played. Reds 4.5 back, Cubs 8, Pirates 12, Brewers are 14, and the Astros are 18 games back in the NL Central. A different look for Tony La Russa tonight. They're facing a pitcher that has a very good changeup. So Tony La Russa wanted to change up his lineup just a bit. Used primarily left-handed hitters. He's done so. Vina to lead things off, followed by Drew, then Edmonds. Will Clark gets the start. He'll bat fourth, play first, then Tatis, Dunston, Matheny, Polanco, and Henkin on the mound. If Pat can get the victory to be victory number 10 on the season for him. Meanwhile, for the Expos, a few changes. Bergeron to lead things off for Felipe Alou. Milton Bradley sent down this afternoon. He was the leadoff man last night. Then Vidro, Tracy, Vladimir Guerrero, the star last night. Lee Stevens, Blum, Widger, Guerrero, and Johnson on the mound. Let's take a look at our diehard starting batteries for tonight. Pat Henkin, 9-8, will get the start for St. Louis. He is seeking his 10th win of the season, and by doing so, if he can pick up the victory, he become the Cardinals' 4th pitcher in double figures. Kyle Stevenson and Bennis already have 10 victories or more this season. Meanwhile, on the flip side for the Expos, here tonight, Mike Johnson, 5-5. This will be his 10th start of the season. Chris Widger gets the start behind the plate. He has thrown out 15 of 64 opposing base stealers so far in 2000. So tonight we'll get to see Pat Henkin. Really a big game for the Cardinals, considering the Reds have already lost, and a chance to go up 5 games and then head home against Atlanta for that weekend series against the Braves back in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. Last night, 4-0 was the final. Let's show you the highlights, and this recap is brought to you by our good friends at Pizza Hut. Rick Ankiel would get the start for St. Louis, and defense early on would be the big name of the game. Ankiel, who took the loss later, would say that the game should have been much worse, but his defense bailed him out. Like on this play, what a play by Langford down the left field line. He banged up his knee, not in the lineup tonight. That saved 2 runs early on. From the right side, Eduardo Perez at first base, second inning. Off the bat of the pitcher, Trey Moore. He would get the force at second. Perez has done an outstanding job filling in for Mark McGwire at first. In the fourth, Trey Moore was outstanding on the mound. Fernando Tatis at the plate. He would go down. That was number 4 of 8 strikeouts on the night. Moore would go 5 innings. He gave up 2 hits en route to the victory, his first in 2000. In the fifth, Vladimir Guerrero would put the Expos on top. Bad pitch by Ankiel, a mistake. Guerrero knows what to do with mistakes. He would take it deep into left, home run, and that was a 3-run shot. Montreal never looked back. In the 7th, Andy Tracy off the bench, pinch hitting for the Expos, would drive this triple into the gap and over the head of J.D. Drew. Jose Vidro, who was standing at first, would come around to score. That would be the 4th run of the night for Montreal. They would win it 4-0. Steve Klein would come out of the bullpen and shut the door. He was very good in his 2 innings of work. That's the final strikeout of the night. The final out of the night, Klein against Paquette. Montreal would win it 4-0. Couple bright spots for the Cardinals, including the debut of Will Clark last night.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time for me, you know, for whatever time I'm here, my job is just to hold the fort down until Mark can come back. You know, he's the man, and you know, I've already been in Tony La Russa's office, and I said, listen, you know, I'll do whatever you need me to do, and you know, when Mark comes back, it's the same thing. I'll do whatever you need me to do, and that's the way teams win. That's the way teams approach it in the postseason, and that's why I'm here.
Well, we mentioned a lot of left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight for Tony La Russa's club. Will Clark, one of them, one of 5 in the lineup tonight for St. Louis. Clark will bat 4th and play 1st for the St. Louis Cardinals here tonight. A lot coming up on Cardinals tonight this evening on Fox Sports Net. Let's take a look at what's on tap in this edition. Well, the Baseball Hall of Fame recently said hello to Tony Perez. It was quite a moment, not only for Tony, but also for his son, Eduardo. This evening, we'll hear from the Cardinal first baseman. Also, you write in on foxsports.com. We answer your questions on the air. Later in the show, it's Ask the Broadcasters with Al Rabowski and myself on Fox Sports Net. And coming up from Olympic Stadium in Montreal on Cardinals tonight, Al Rabowski and Mike Shannon talk it over. It's Game 3 of this 3-game set. Pungo and the Moon Man are up next.
The 2000 Mercury Grand Marquis with a powerful V8, 5-star crash test rating, and the largest trunk in its class. No wonder Grand Marquis has been #1 in owner loyalty 4 years in a row. Plus, to inspire even more loyalty, Grand Marquis now comes with low 3.9% APR limited term financing or $1,500 cash back. Start living large in Mercury Grand Marquis. See your local Mercury dealer today.
He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. He's larger than life. He sparked a passion taking the country by storm. And the Sporting News says he's generated more buzz than Oprah Winfrey and Larry King. He's arguably the hippest, freshest, funniest sports talker working today.
You're underpaid. There's no question about that.
That is some serious smack. Jim Rome, The Last Word, tonight at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome to the jungle.
Welcome back to Olympic Stadium in Montreal. It's Game 3 of this 3-game set between the Cardinals and the Expos. And standing by at Olympic Stadium up in our broadcast booth, Mike Shannon and Al Rabowski. You guys, take it away.
Well, thanks, Danny. And, of course, Mike, you know, the Cardinals were shut out last night for the 3rd time in the first 106 games. Oftentimes people say a club looks flat. But, you know, it's when you don't hit, you do look flat, but it's not that easy.
Yeah, you're right, Al. Everything is magnified when you're not pitching well or you're not hitting, because you're not scoring runs. They say this, that, and last night was a good example of it, because this club really played hard last night. We had some great plays, as you're going to see right now, where it started out in left field with Langford. He goes over to his right and makes a fantastic catch. That saves 2 runs and maybe 3, because if it gets by the Cardinal left fielder into the corner, it could have been an inside the park home run. Then Vigna, the second baseman, hustling all the way. He almost kills himself on that ridiculous mound they have down there. And then you go again. You have Perez. Watch him just out-hustle them as their catcher. I can't understand. Widger's been around long enough to know when it's ball 4 and the ball gets away from you, you have to go back and get it. The ball boy hustled him down and got the ball before the catcher did. And then here's Tatis taking him out on a double play. You talk about good, hard baseball. If he doesn't take him out, that's a double play for sure. And they don't get the double play. Then Renteria, he sticks his nose in there. And this club is playing about as hard as they can. You cannot say that they're not really working as hard as they can, Al. They really are busting themselves.
You know, Tony talks a lot of times about a game, and he says you want to win with more than one way. Meaning you want a well-pitched game from your pitching staff. You want the great defensive effort that we saw last night, and you want to go out there and have a lot of bats. Well, last night our bats weren't going, and unfortunately, when that happens, one crucial pitch can be the difference in a game.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous when you think about it, because when Ankiel faced Vladimir Guerrero the time before, he threw him 6 or 7 pitches, or 7 or 8 pitches. I don't know which. But not one of them was in the strike zone, and he took a swing at every one of them except one that was high outside, and that was a fastball. Then the next time he comes up there, he has a base open, and he throws him a curveball, and he hits the 3-run home run. Well, those mistakes come from young pitchers. And you see the pitch right here. It's a hanging breaking ball. And you see the catcher. You see Carlos jump up and down. He's saying to himself, why are you throwing that pitch? Look at him jump up like that. He says, oh, my goodness. You're supposed to bounce that pitch. You're not supposed to. Here's the problem. The problem was that the kid probably knew that he didn't want to throw him a strike, but he used the wrong pitch. He used the curveball instead of the fastball. He has much more control with his fastball, so he's going to throw that out of the strike zone. He can control that. Now you see the great arm of Vladimir out there throwing behind the runner. It's all right to throw behind the runner once in a while, but I tell you, you throw behind the runner, sooner or later, a good runner will pick your pocket. You'll throw to first. He'll be at second base, so you got to be careful there.
You know, Mike, I know you played right field, you played third base, and even you did a little catching or something like this. Real quickly explain to somebody how difficult it is when you're trying to not throw a strike and you try too hard. That's when you know, the thought process gets messed up.
Well, yeah, you've been there before yourself, and your experience, well, you can do it. But when you have a youngster like that, you've got to say to him, hey, look it. And they did it the time before. That's what gets me. You know, he threw those fastballs that went in, and he took a swing at everyone. This guy will swing at anything you throw up there. He has no protection behind him, and he's a very aggressive hitter, and all you've got to do is bounce it up. I'll tell you, if a gnat comes by the plate, he'll take a swing at that. If the catcher takes his glove and throw it, he'll swing at anything, so you can't throw him a strike.
Look out, Danny. You may be close enough for him to swing at you, too. Take it away.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Mike, is always a lot of fun. We'll hear from you two on Friday night back home at Busch Stadium. When we come back, we'll talk about a Hall of Famer and also his son. Eduardo Perez is up next.
Announcing the most amazing offer in Pizza Hut history, the Pizza Hut America online shopping spree. Now when you order the Big New Yorker for just $9.99, you get $30 free online cash. That's right, $30 free. Log on to AOL keyword Pizza Hut or AOL.com Pizza Hut. Get the stuff you want, like back-to-school clothing, backpacks, sporting goods, and more. A pizza that's 30% larger than a large, plus $30 online cash. It's like we're giving money away. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Summer's getting hotter with Dish on Demand. Watch Channel 500 for movie previews and use your remote to order.
Concert event of the summer. It's the Rolling Rock Town Fair from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Starring the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Filter. Moby. A truly unique gathering of music. Don't miss the Rolling Rock Town Fair. The Rolling Rock Town Fair. Yeah, the Chili Peppers are on Dish on Demand.
Is Fox Sports Net.
Cardinals Tonight on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Gundaker, your home source. Now let's take a look at our Cardinals Athlete of the Week, selected by the sports editors of the Suburban Journals and proudly sponsored by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Congratulations to Heather Wetzel from Waterloo High School, a track and field star. Heather Wetzel, our Student Athlete of the Week on Fox Sports Net. We are at Olympic Stadium. We've got more people for batting practice at Busch Stadium normally than we do for this entire game here tonight. Game number 3 of this 3-game set against the Montreal Expos. Well, for Tony Perez, he is finally in the Hall of Fame, an honor long overdue. His son Eduardo, of course, is on the Cardinals staff and also one of their guys that they've got coming off the bench tonight. Recently, we had a chance to visit with Eduardo Perez. He had heard every reason why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. He didn't hit 400 home runs. He was just a .279 hitter, and he never led the league in any major category. But for Tony Perez, those stats don't matter anymore. It all changed in Cooperstown in 2000.
Tony, welcome to Cooperstown.
Tony Perez is in the Hall of Fame and is proud of his career. But he's even prouder of his son, Eduardo, who has found a home with the Cardinals. Eduardo was on hand to watch Dad go into the Hall, a day long overdue.
Ever since that day where they called and they told him he was in, it was like, you know, watching a sigh of relief from his face, a joy. It's unbelievable.
The elder Perez was a 7-time All-Star. He drove in more runs than Mickey Mantle and had more hits than Ted Williams. He had respect, but just not from the people who made him wait 9 elections to get into the Hall.
I think he got an unbelievable amount of respect from his fellow peers and players. I don't think he got enough respect from the baseball writers at the time. A lot of the writers at the time weren't, you know, never watched him play in his prime when he was, you know, during the 70s, late 60s, 70s. And the ones that were voting saw him play in the 80s and stuff. So they had to at least get educated a little bit more on seeing what kind of player he was then, to realize the value that he had and the impact he had on the game.
The impact on his teams were enormous. He was a part of 5 World Series, and Eduardo can remember growing up around one of baseball's great runs, the Big Red Machine.
First word that comes to my mind is winning. We weren't allowed in the clubhouse if they didn't win. So they won a lot, and all the kids always thought it was because they wanted us in the clubhouse. We didn't know any better, and that was the beauty of it. But we saw the dedication, the hard work, and the fun that can be involved in playing the game that you love, and especially when you win.
It's been those times and the guidance from Dad that has led Eduardo to his path in the major leagues.
First thing and foremost, he never made me play the game, never forced me to play the game. It's something that I acquired just because I was around it a lot. At the same time, he's given me all the support, not only him but my mom also, and they've been great at it.
It's support that comes on a daily basis, even now.
We call each other a lot. We keep in touch a lot, and that's the beauty of it. We have a real tight-knit relationship, and every day it grows stronger.
Eduardo is making quite a name for himself with the Cardinals. With Mark McGwire out, he's gotten a chance, and he's made the most of it.
A drive into center field. Going back is Singleton. Looking up. Grand slam for Perez.
It's emotional, not only because, you know, first day I get here, I get hurt right away, and I have to spend 15 days on the disabled list. That made me struggle mentally a little bit, but at the same time, I tried to, you know, not use that as an excuse, and when they activated me, I didn't want to lose any beat. I wanted to be right there with everyone and be a part of it, and that definitely helped the motivation factor to come out here and realize that I am a part of this now.
That's a wonderful play by Perez. Flips to Stevenson for the out.
He wasn't part of it out of spring training, despite putting up nice numbers. He was one of the last cuts, but Dad was there to encourage him forward.
It was very disappointing. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it wasn't. You know, I felt that I did everything possible to be here, but at the same time, I knew and I was relaxed enough to know that I didn't hurt myself by the performance I had in spring training or at the end of the year last year.
So now he's up and contributing to a championship club.
This team is really good. We do a lot of things together, and pitchers relate with hitters, hitters relate with pitchers, and the coaches and everything. So this group is definitely a healthy group, and we feel we can go a long ways with this group.
Eduardo Perez coming of age with the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's another good play by Perez and Stevenson.
Our thanks to Eduardo Perez. Congratulations to his father, now in Cooperstown, enshrined in the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's a shot of downtown Montreal. That's where we're at tonight, our lone visit to Montreal to take on the Expos. It's game number 3 of this 3-game set. And up next, Ask the Broadcasters. The best segment in baseball is coming up.
Grandpa, how do we get a bigger house?
These days, most people click on Gundaker.com.
Gundaker.com is St. Louis's premier home source. At Gundaker.com, you can browse over 3,000 listings with over 2,000 agents to assist with all your home buying needs.
Remember, kids, we're more than a real estate company. We're a family.
Let Gundaker be your family realtor.
Amazing offer in Pizza Hut history. The Pizza Hut America online shopping spree. Now when you order the Big New Yorker for just $9.99, you get $30 free online cash. That's right, $30 free. Log on to AOL keyword Pizza Hut or AOL.com Pizza Hut. Get the stuff you want, like clothing, video games, pet supplies, DVD players, and more. A pizza that's 30% larger than a large for $9.99, plus $30 online cash. It's like we're giving money away. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
आदाबर्स विक्रम शो से हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं। आज मेरे साथ एक मशहूर मेहमान अरुण दाती।
दो खिलाड़ियों का नाम अरुण दाती और भारत है, मगर ये देखो क्या हो रहा है। दोनों खिलाड़ी अब तैयार है, वो एक दूसरे के पास है। हंगामा हुआ, हंगामा हुआ। अरे यार, एक दूसरे गलत आदमी को मारा। ये गड़बड़ हो रहा है। ये मामला मेक्सिको की सालगिरह लगता है। ये दीवानों का मेला लगता है। अरे अरे अरे, क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है।
It's a playoff preview at Busch. Chipper Jones leads a menacing Braves attack. But the Cardinals' monstrous power makes them fearless. Friday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to Cardinals Tonight. Time for Ask the Broadcasters. You log on to foxsports.com, click on Midwest, then go to Ask the Broadcasters. You write in your question, and we answer your questions on the air. My name is Dan McLaughlin. Al Rabowski, my partner, is alongside, and this is Al's favorite segment in the program. Let's jump right into the questions, and this is Joan from Springfield, Missouri, who writes in on foxsports.com. How much longer can baseball last in Montreal? Joan, thanks a lot for writing in on foxsports.com. Al, your response.
Well, I don't know if there is an answer to this, and the new owner here is very secretive of what he plans to do. He's trying to buy out all the Canadian partners. There are people believe that maybe he has some new partners in waiting. Maybe he'll influx a lot of new money. But there's still people believe that if they could get a downtown stadium and a good team, that people would respond and they'd come through the turnstiles. But the key is it has to be downtown. But I cannot see that it's whatever happens, it's still going to be here next year.
Well, here's the question. If you're drawing 9,000 fans against a first-place team and a marquee team, a team like St. Louis, if that's all you get, why should these fans have baseball here?
Well, that's a very good question, but we haven't moved a franchise in better than 30 years. But as I said, if they move it downtown where the population lives and where it's very active at night, maybe they'll come out. They did come out in earlier times, and at one time, I know they led the National League, I think, with about 2.4 million. So, you know, they're going to have to spend more money. They're going to have to retain their great players that they raised in the farm system, but who knows?
Alton, Illinois. This is Bill, who writes in on foxsports.com. Thanks a lot, Bill. Is Tony La Russa considered a player's manager? If so, why? I'm not going to touch this question. It's all up to Al.
Well, I think Tony is a very demanding manager, and I think it's not so much players. What he wants is professionals, and he likes the veteran players. And there's not a manager alive who doesn't want veterans over rookies, because you don't have to keep on teaching them. They're supposed to know how to play the game. But I will say this, Tony and his coaching staff have made a commitment to the players, and for the first time, he has a group of assembled professionals that respond to his way of thinking.
The one thing I think about when you mention the name Tony La Russa...
You said you weren't going to touch this question.
Well, since you walk the line, I'm going to, too. He's a fair guy. He is fair to his players, and I think that's probably the most important thing at this level that guys really want, whether you're a young guy or veteran guy. You just want to be treated fairly.
Well, and what he wants and what this team is ready to give him is accountability.
Right. Let's go to St. Louis, and this is Jim, who writes in on foxsports.com. Speaking of managers, why has Felipe Alou remained so loyal to the Expos? As a matter of fact, Jim, we were just talking about that off the air. Felipe Alou is in the middle of a 3-year contract he signed in '98, Al, and looks like he may stay around for one more year and then call it quits.
Well, remember, he's making $2 million a year. He lives with his in-laws up here, and his main home in the States is where they play spring training in Jupiter, Florida.
Not much pressure.
There is no pressure. Absolutely no pressure up here. He is the boss of Montreal, and no one questioned what he does.
For $2 million, like we pay Al at foxsports.com and also Fox Sports, he's been very loyal to us.
I just can't believe we even do the games. I think we just do the Ask the Broadcaster segment.
Speak for yourself, Al. More coming up on Cardinals from Montreal. Stay with us. Final segment's up next.
scores and highlights are only half the story. Oh, my goodness! Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage.
Every pro score every 10 minutes.
More analysis.
This team has unity.
More opinions.
That is going too far.
Plus, live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
Our team covers the sports scene like you've never seen.
What a hit!
The National Sports Report, nightly at 10 and midnight on Fox Sports Net. Miss it, miss out.
He's in there all year long, screaming and carrying on. Cardinals, Pacers, even the Blues. And he's never been on skates in his whole life. And he'll be screaming at the players like he can do it better. Fool.
Time you straighten right out. He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. He's larger than life. He sparked a passion taking the country by storm. And the Sporting News says he's generated more buzz than Oprah Winfrey and Larry King. He's arguably the hippest, freshest, funniest sports talker working today.
You're underpaid. There's no question about that.
That is some serious smack. Jim Rome, The Last Word, tonight at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome to the jungle. Welcome back to Cardinals Tonight from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. It's been a busy day around baseball. A lot of afternoon action as this crowd is filing in to take in game number 3 of this 3-game set. Some finals already in around the National League. The Mets, a winner over Cincinnati. Now the Reds 4.5 back as we start play tonight. Los Angeles 11, Pittsburgh 5. That's a final. And Milwaukee beat San Francisco 6-4. Also one other final in. The Chicago Cubs beat Colorado by the score of 3-2. Just underway, Houston and Florida. Later tonight, Atlanta, Arizona, Philadelphia, and San Diego. Tonight, Pat Henkin looks for victory number 10 on the season. He would join Kyle Stevenson and Venice with 10 wins or more. Cardinals and Expos coming up next.
Italy. To me, it means great beauty and rich history. But it's the food that makes an Italian vacation so special. And for me, a total tax write-off. I've learned so many things here. I've learned that in Italy, the food isn't called Italian food. It's just called food. I learned that if you ask for a thick and frosty milkshake made with real ice cream, they look at you like you're from another planet. And I've learned that in bocce ball, you're supposed to throw underhand. Otherwise, our shared passion for food allows me to fit right in. We agree that French fries should be golden and crispy, and that the French hogged all the credit. And when I told them my burgers are hot and delicious because we don't make it till you order it, I knew we had bonded, even though they had no idea what I was talking about. But the most important thing these passionate people taught me is this. When you attend an Italian soccer match, you better root for Italy.
Welcome to the Crown Hotel. Allow us to show you to your room, take care of every need, suggest some amazing sights, and of course you'll need some help with your bags. The Crown Hotel at the Casino Queen, directly across from the Gateway Arch. Call now for reservations. And ask about the Redbird Special, featuring 2 cards tickets with a night stay.
Chrysler Concorde. Sophisticated styling, multi-valve V6, a spacious interior, and automatic respect wherever you park it.
In 1923, homes in this neighborhood sold for around $10,000. Today, they sell for $300,000 plus. Nice neighborhood. Brick. The natural choice.
A Harley Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and a pickup truck. It's your own little part of the American dream. Now you can make it reality in the Quick Trip Pepsi American Dream Sweepstakes. All summer long, you can enter for a chance to win a Harley-Davidson XL8 Sportster 883 and a Ford Limited Edition Harley-Davidson F-150 pickup truck. Visit any participating St. Louis area Quick Trip location for your chance to win your own little part of the American dream. Brought to you by Quick Trip and Pepsi. So enter today.
Now, the Midwest has a nightly sports report dedicated to hometown teams' home team highlights. It's 30 minutes of nightly sports news dedicated to your team. The 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, Midwest Edition, nightly at 11.
Motorsports Weekly, Saturdays at 11:30.
Tonight, veteran first baseman Will Clark will make his first start for the St. Louis Cardinals here in Montreal. He'll bat fourth. Tony La Russa has adjusted his lineup tonight. He's primarily using lefties, 4 of them against Mike Johnson. Pat Henkin makes the start tonight for St. Louis. He is looking for victory number 10 on the year. From Olympic Stadium in Montreal, a perfect day outside. Of course, it's hot inside because they won't turn on the power till about 5 o'clock here at Olympic Stadium. The Cardinals and Expos meet tonight in the rubber game of their 3-game series. The Cardinals' lone visit of the year to Olympic Stadium and the first meeting between these two teams since spring training. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Net. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Al Raboski is alongside in a big game for the Cardinals here tonight as they wrap up this 6-game road trip. The Mets have already beaten Cincinnati, so as we stand, Reds are 4.5 back in a very important game for Pat Henkin and St. Louis.
Well, it really is, and you really need the veteran to step up and pitch well. And there's a lot of indications say that it could be a tough outing. But when his back has been up against the wall and you need a solid effort from him, he's always responded.
The Expos will throw Mike Johnson, so Tony La Russa is using a lot of lefties. Lefties hitting .287 against Johnson. One of those lefties in the lineup is Will Clark. He will bat fourth. Of course, McGwire is still out. Will Clark is back in the National League with the St. Louis Cardinals, and he said he's loving every minute of it so far.
Definitely. You know, I mean, when you're sort of born and raised, I guess you want to say, in the National League and in the kind of baseball that they have there, and then all of a sudden to go over to the American League where it's sort of a laid-back, sit-back type game, this is definitely a plus because I get back to a very crisp type ball game, a ball game that I was used to for quite a few years, and you know, after having played against Tony La Russa for so long, and to be finally with him and his coaching staff. I'm really, really looking forward to this.
Good to see Will Clark here in St. Louis, isn't it?
Well, he's a guy that I've always appreciated the way he plays, a hard-nosed player. He is a National League style player, and he is a team player that understands what his role is, as he says, holding down the fort. But just think about when Mark McGwire comes back and then having that bat as a real weapon coming off the bench.
We mentioned at Shea in an afternoon game, the Mets have already beaten Cincinnati, so Tony La Russa and the Cardinals start tonight, 4.5 games up. These standings brought to you by Pizza Hut, and that's good to see. 4.5, Reds are back.
Well, and you have a chance to win this series and get 5 games over the Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals control their destiny, but you have to win your ball games.
So Mike Johnson will throw for Montreal. Pat Henkin gets the start for St. Louis. Henkin is looking for victory number 10. If the Cardinals and Henkin are to be successful, they've got to stop that man. He beat the Cardinals last night. That's Vladimir Guerrero. He's in the lineup tonight for Montreal. Cards and Expos coming up next.
Visit the best-selling new community in the metro St. Louis area. The Villages at Dardenne by Whitaker Homes, featuring single-family homes and golf course villas from the 130s to 300s. You can register to win tickets to the new Whitaker Homes Rec Room at Busch Stadium. Just visit any Whitaker Homes community sales office. To be the best, you have to use the best, like all union labor and top brand products you've come to trust. Owens Corning System Thinking is a standard feature at all Whitaker Homes communities. See our ad in Sunday's Postfolio.
Cardinals 6-3.
Hey, hi, would you get the door? Is anybody going to get that door?
To register for Family of the Game, send a postcard to WB11 Southwest Airlines Family of the Game.
Honey, who is at the door?
My friends love it. Everybody looks at the car when I'm driving in it. I like the attention. It's great. One of the first things I noticed was how quiet it is. Just a very smooth, comfortable ride. The stereo system was fabulous. I feel safe in it. Lock my keys in my car. They have roadside assistance. I don't have to worry about my car because I'm covered under the 10-year warranty. The Hyundai Accent gives me lots of freedom. It's definitely the car for me.
Get the Accent for just $8,934 at your Hyundai dealer now.
Schnucks makes it easy to save time and money. Pick up everything your family needs at Schnucks.
You'll save more on all flavors of Boost Nutritional Energy Drink. Final cost with coupon, just $2.99. Diapers, diapers, and training pants are on sale. Final cost with coupon, only $3.99. For fast relief, Advil Pain Reliever, 80 and 100 count packages are just $6.99. And at Schnucks Video Club, rent the whole 9 yards, guaranteed to be in stock. Our next time, it's free.
Schnucks, we make it easy.
And during the playoffs, what we did was...
Oh, you're somebody famous, aren't you? Yeah, I've seen you on TV, haven't I? Yeah, he's Al Rabowski, you know. Al who? You know, the Hot Shots guy. Yeah, the Hot Shots guy. Can we have your autograph, Hot Shots guy, please? Please. We're your biggest fans.
Meet Al Rabowski, the Mad Hungarian, the broadcaster, the Hot Shots guy. Wednesday, August 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the St. Charles Hot Shots.
Hot Shots. You're always a winner at Hot Shots.
Welcome to Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Dan McLaughlin, Al Rabowski, the third game of this 3-game set against the Expos on Fox Sports Net. Vigna, Drew, and Edmonds here in the top half of the first against this right-hander, Mike Johnson, who's 5-5. Vigna right on the button. Vigna, a good play to his left. 1 up and 1 down. Let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for St. Louis. Vigna, then Drew, Edmonds, Clark, Tatis, Dunston, Matheny, Polanco, and Henkin. Last 5 games, Jim Edmonds has been hot. 368, a couple of home runs, and you see 4 lefties in the lineup against Mike Johnson, this right-hander for Montreal. 1 up and 1 down, and Johnson will work against J.D. Drew. J.D. came in the middle of yesterday's game in the 6th inning. Mike Johnson now.
I never associate junk ball with anybody, but he may not have a good fastball, but he has to spot the ball around.
J.D. took a ball, 2-0. Two-0 pitch from Johnson, fouled away, 2-1. This is a guy, Al, that has a very good changeup as J.D. steps in with 2 balls and a strike, just like yesterday's starter, Moore.
Well, what made Moore so exceptional was the fact that he spotted his fastball so well, got inside of guys, and then kept them really off balance. The tailing action on his fastball there. And really, the Cardinals have to really pick up the paces. They all got to look in the mirror and help out them.
2-2 pitch outside, full count with Edmonds on deck. You're wondering about around the horn and defensively behind Johnson. That's coming up after J.D. Drew. 3-2 pitch, fly ball into right field. Guerrero has good range and puts it away. Has that great arm and also good range in right field away. Around the horn we go. Lee Stevens at first base for Montreal. Jose Vidro, the all-star, at second. Andy Tracy gets the start at third. Moving from third to short, Jeff Blum. To the outfield we go for the Expos. Wilton Guerrero, the brother of Vladimir, in left. In center, Peter Bergeron. And in right, Vladimir Guerrero. Behind the plate for the Expos, it's Chris Widger. 2 away, nobody on. And here is Edmonds, feeling much better. Suffering with a hip flexor problem. But feels much better, back in the lineup here tonight.
You really have to be careful on this playing surface, too, with nagging injuries Cardinal players have. Vladimir Guerrero suffered that same injury. He was out 4 days.
Ray Langford not in the lineup tonight. Remember, he made that great stop and great catch in left yesterday and saved a couple of runs, but hurt his knee. Chrysler Jeep starters for tonight, Pat Henkin and Mike Johnson. Henkin looking for victory number 10. Johnson at 500 at 5-5. There's a strike to Edmonds. 3-1. Will Clark on deck. Just sounds nice, doesn't it? Will Clark in the lineup.
It sounds better to have Mark McGwire and Will Clark following him.
Edmonds to Stevens. Takes it himself, a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Johnson after a half inning. No score in Montreal.
Ice cold! Bud Light! Ice cold! Bud Light! Hey, who wants one?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
How many fingers? Hey, Spike.
Hyundai owners know value.
It's everything you get with the vehicle for the price. It's what builds value.
During the real sale event, the Hyundai Sonata is an even better value. It comes with the Freedom of America's Best warranty. And it comes with a long list of standard features, all for just $15,934. Hurry in, because during the real sale event, the Hyundai Sonata is going real quick. Get the Sonata for just $15,934 during the real sale event.
You know, my car has been making the same ticking noise. What do you suppose is causing that? Oops, probably shouldn't have cut that one.
You have more important things to worry about than your car. That's our job. During our 24th anniversary sale, you can get your brake service for only $79 and ask about our Fix Forever warranty, so you never have to worry about parts or labor again. Hey, you have more important things to worry about than your car. That's our job. Dobbs.
Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Doc Otis, a new flavored alcohol malt beverage. Real lemon, real refreshment. Unlock the Doc. By your local Chrysler and Jeep dealers. And by Southwest Airlines, who brings freedom to the net with affordable fares and frequent flights. Log on for low fares. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of e-freedom. Felipe Alou, the all-time winningest manager in Montreal history. This is his lineup tonight, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Bergeron, the leadoff man, followed by Vidro, then Tracy, Vladimir Guerrero, the star last night, Stevens, Blum, Widger, Wilton Guerrero, then Johnson will hit ninth, and of course he's on the mound for St. Louis, right-hander Pat Henkin.
But he's got to keep the ball down, and hopefully early in the count he can get ahead of these guys, and then maybe he can elevate the ball out of the strike zone, get him to chase it. He's Canada, and he's back home, and he pitches well on the road, but he's going to have his hands full with his very good offensive team.
Here is Peter Bergeron, the leadoff man for Montreal tonight. Milton Bradley was the leadoff man playing center last night. He was sent down to make room for their new acquisition from Chicago, left-handed pitcher. So Felipe Alou uses Bergeron here tonight in center and the leadoff man. Vidro and Tracy to follow, then Vladimir Guerrero. Tatis in at third. Outfield straight away. Bergeron had a start in game one of this three-game set. 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Mike Matheny behind the plate. Carlos Hernandez the night off. Matheny still battling that rib problem. Cracked rib. So it's tough to do everything out there, but he's gotten it out. In a pennant race. 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
And initially they thought Mike would wear a flak jacket to kind of protect the rib, but it was so bulky, he said, I'm not comfortable with it. I'll just take my chances.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And a full count on Bergeron, who has very good speed.
It's the one thing you cannot do. And Keel struggled last night. Too many 3-2 counts. This is a very aggressive young offensive club. So throw strikes, make them get themselves out.
Leadoff walk to Bergeron. Around the horn we go. Defensively behind Pat Henkin here tonight. Will Clark to start at first. His first start for St. Louis. Vigny at second. Fernando Tatis at third base for the Cardinals. At short, Polanco gets the start. Renteria the night off. In left, Sean Dunston the start. Roy Langford was initially in there but taken out. Edmonds in center. And in right, it's J.D. Drew behind the plate for St. Louis, as we mentioned before. Mike Matheny.
Duncan walking the first batter. It's his 22nd start, trying to become the 4th Cardinal to win at least 10 games.
1-0 pitch. 2-0. You're right, Al. You get the ball around the plate with this team. They are free swinging up there. Here around the plate, they will swing.
But when you fall behind in the count and they can really look for fastballs, then you're really asking for a short evening.
This guy is very dangerous. This is Jose Vidro. Had 3 hits last night. Vina, what a play. Polanco, the turn, and they get it. What a double play started by Vina.
Another reason why you want to throw strikes, because you should never be afraid of the Cardinal defense. They're going to do their part. And right here, this is a very good play. Remember, you're on a very hard surface. The ball gets on top of you very quickly. Polanco is as steady as they go. Vina catches the ball, fires a strike to Polanco. Polanco will be tough as nails. He'll let that runner get down on top of him and still execute the throw.
Polanco hung in there. Did you see what happened to Biggio last night? Tore up his knee in a double play.
Out for the year.
Yeah, out for the year. And the troubles continue for the Astros. Here's Andy Tracy. 26-year-old from Bowling Green.
He had a triple last night and drove in the 4th run of the ball game.
One and 2. Vladimir Guerrero is on deck. We know what he can do. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Andy Tracy. Two and 2. Pat Henkin looking to join Kyle and Stevenson and Bennis with the other Cardinals with 10 wins or more this season. And another full count. He's been behind, with the exception of Tracy here, primarily each hitter, which has been Bergeron and Vidro, and you don't want to have Guerrero come up with anybody on. 3-2 pitch. Another walk. 2-out walk this time to Andy Tracy. That'll bring in Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero last night, a 3-run homer off of Rick Ankiel to bust the game wide open, number 26. He now has 86 RBIs.
Dave Duncan said maybe if Tony had his thought about it again, as he would have walked it. There were runners at first and second. The first pitch, a hanging breaking ball. Ankiel tried to throw the hardest one he's ever thrown in his life, and Vladimir get a little upset. Another reason to throw inside to him. No,
that's pitching right there.
Well, that's darn right, pitching. You don't like it. You know what he was supposed to do? Throw the ball a hanger like last night, or throw the ball out over the middle of the plate. Remember also, Vladimir is 4 for 6 against Hinkin with 2 home runs. So I think he has a reason to do what he did.
Popped up right
side.
out. Tough play. Clark can't make it. Had it and dropped it.
Will, an outstanding defensive first baseman, but I'm sure he'll tell you he should have had that.
And that gives another life to Guerrero.
He's tippy-toeing around the camera well and the dugout. And you know, he has to reach back, and you also remember you're standing on a ledge, and so as he reaches back, he probably lost his balance because he didn't know he was going to lose his footing.
2 balls and 1 strike on Guerrero. Another thing to point out last night, with first and second, if you walk him, that walks the bases loaded with a guy like Ankiel, that the nerves get going a little bit, but then you had the left-hander up next, so they had their options and they got burned. 2-1 pitch. Jammed him on the inside corner. Good pitch. And this should be out number 3. Tatis is there, has it, and Guerrero is retired. A couple of walks, but they don't come back to haunt the Cardinals.
Announcing the most amazing offer in Pizza Hut history, the Pizza Hut America online shopping spree. Now when you order the Big New Yorker for just $9.99, you get $30 free online cash. That's right, $30 free. Log on to AOL keyword Pizza Hut or AOL.com Pizza Hut. Get the stuff you want, like back-to-school clothing, backpacks, sporting goods, and more. A pizza that's 30% larger than a large plus $30 online cash. It's like we're giving money away. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
The Rangers are poised to shut down the Jays' drive to the pennant. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Net.
Dive into great drama on Dish on Demand. A young man's obsession with a higher lifestyle has consequences when he assumes his friend's identity. Believe it or not, it's the talented Mr. Ripley. Then an ex-middleweight boxing contender must deal with prison time for a crime he did not commit. It's the Hurricane. And a mid-19th century English schoolteacher must cope with the King of Siam and his country's ways. It's Anna and the King. Watch Channel 500 for movie previews and use your remote to order.
How would you like to get $100 in free programming? You can with the new Dish Network Rewards Refer a Friend program. You already enjoy the great programming and service Dish Network offers. Now your friends can enjoy it too, and we'll give you all the credit. It's easy. Just introduce a friend to Dish Network's Digital Dynamite plan and earn $50 in free programming for each new residential Dish Network customer. That's $100 when you introduce up to 2 new friends. Tune to Channel 250 for more details about Dish Network's new Refer a Friend program.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Monday, August 7th, the Cardinals take on the Marlins. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change Cardinals license plate frame night. First 25,000 fans ages 16 and over with a paid admission receive a Cardinals license plate frame. August 7 when the Cardinals take on the Marlins. Here is Will Clark. In the top of the second, no score. Clark to Tatis, then Dunston. Will in his first at-bat for the Redbirds. It went off the wall last night for a stand-up double. 1-0 pitch. 2-0.
You know, Will Clark is a guy that I think fans, when you see him from the other side, you know, you fear him a little bit, but you sure appreciate the way he plays the game and the hard-nosed attitude.
2-0 pitch fouled away.
Told me he couldn't wait to go to play in St. Louis. He said, I always considered it a great hitter's ballpark. And now, he said, a little nice. He doesn't expect to have the boos. I think there were standing boos when he was there with a visiting player with the Giants.
He was a hated man.
But, I mean, that's a hated and respectful man.
Yes.
Because, you know, he had that little altercation with Oquendo, and then Ozzie tried to jump in there and throw a couple haymakers and missed with all of them.
Yeah, that's right. One flap down with Jeffrey Leonard and this guy. Fly ball left field, opposite field. Guerrero going back, looking up. And that ball is gone. Will Clark, opposite field, goes deep. He's 2 for 2 in his Cardinals debut. A double and now a home run. 1-0 St. Louis.
Will the thrill. And I tell you one thing, you know, Cardinal fans have never, ever disappointed me, and they've always acknowledged every player that's come through. But this is a tire club playing 17 out of 20 on the road. They need the fans to step up like they always have. Not only recognize Will Clark and show their appreciation of what Walt did, but for everyone. I'll tell you one thing. If you want the Cardinals to have the fans help out, when they announce the starting lineup Friday night, greet them with a standing ovation. They deserve it, and I think that's the best way to make them feel like they're back at home and you believe in it.
What a start for Will Clark, 2 for 2 with the Cardinals. Double last night, home run here tonight. He had said prior to the game in our soundbite in talking with Will that he was excited to be back in the National League, knows the parks, knows many of the players, and Will Clark with St. Louis making quite an impression so far.
And Danny, I think it's more so what he's talking about is the style of play. It's more aggressive. It's crisper. And, you know, instead of just waiting around and just waiting for home runs and having games drag out, not people challenging people, The National League is by far a superior brand of baseball.
Sweet swing of Will Clark.
Yeah, and look at the plate coverage. Hands are back. You know, he strides into a ball, but the hands are back so he can hit that ball out away from him, and he can adjust to off-speed pitches.
Here is Sean Dunston. Fly ball into left. Guerrero is there, 2 away. And that is Wilton Guerrero, the brother of Vladimir, who's patrolling in right. Now to bring in Matheny. 1-0 Cardinals, thanks to Will Clark in his first home run in a Redbird uniform. Mike Matheny back in the lineup here tonight. Carlos Hernandez made his Redbird debut last night.
Well, I think the thought process is you're going to keep both guys sharp. Carlos is trying to, keep to have guys fresh, and also a number change here for Matheny.
Wearing number 44, and Clark gets
his old number.
Yep.
Mike Matheny, it shouldn't surprise you that he shows his professionalism to voluntarily say, I'll give you your number.
Some guys will ask for something, but most guys that have been around the game for a long time and understand the history of it and changing numbers realize they just hand it over to the guys that have been stars in this league, like Will Clark. And there's a strikeout, first on the night for Mike Johnson. But Will Clark has gone deep. That's number 1. 1-0 St. Louis.
Bubba, it's great hanging with you guys.
I love you, man.
But what about me?
I love you too, man.
More than me?
No, man.
No, it's that whole weak thing, isn't it? You just love that sweet frosting, don't you?
You're confusing me, man. I can't choose.
You don't have to choose sides. You can have it all with Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat. Now in honey, too.
See, you do like him best.
Chill, baby. I got you covered.
May cause drowsiness. Avoid sunlight before bed. Take with food.
Jeff? Which U.S. hockey team has won the most Stanley Cups?
If only every question was a sports question. Sports Geniuses, the game show that tests your sports IQ. Weeknights at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
The Rangers are poised to shut down the Jays' drive to the pennant. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Net.
This day in Cardinal history brought to you by our good friends at Schnucks. August 2nd, 1990. Joe Torre was named the Cardinals manager, replacing interim manager Red Shandies. And of course, he had taken over for Whitey Herzog, who resigned in early July. Turbulent time at that point for the Redbirds, and Joe Torre took over. Pat Henkin back to work. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lee Stevens. Stevens, Blum, and Widger, if anybody can reach. Wilton Guerrero here in the second. 1-0 Cardinals. Will Clark, his first home run for the Redbirds, and it's 1-0.
Danny, I think 2 things in that first inning really helped Pat Henkin. Obviously, the double play, but I think the response from Vladimir Guerrero kind of a wake-up call. It was like, hey, I'm trying to get you out. And I think Pat is going to be a little bit more on top of his game now mentally.
First strikeout of the night for Pat. That's on Lee Stevens, a guy that's has had success against Henkin in his career. And this is the part of the order that Tony La Russa was very much concerned about, Al, because you've got Guerrero, you know what he can do. Then behind him, Lee Stevens is 5 for 12 with a home run. So you can't really pitch around Guerrero with a guy like Stevens behind that's had success against Pat Henkin.
That's right. And, you know, as Tony was kind of pessimistic about this, but talked to Dave Duncan, he said, you know, every time you kind of ask Pat Henkin to step up is when he really responds and pitches one of his better games.
One ball and one strike on Jeff Blum is Tony La Russa. Now 4.5 up in the NL Central. I'll tell you what, this is the guy, if I'm Tony La Russa, that I want on the mound. When you know that the Mets have already beaten Cincinnati, and this guy is such a competitor, Pat Henkin we're talking about. He's a bulldog out there. He shows the emotions. He's the kind of guy that is good to have out there when you have a losing streak or you know that you really need a win. And let's face it, this is an important game when you know that Cincinnati has lost. You've got Atlanta staring you in the face when you come home. It's a very big game.
Well, it's big for many reasons, and all the ones you mentioned. It's also a situation where the starting pitcher has a huge responsibility in every game. But I thought it was very crucial for the Cardinals to get a lead in this game and hopefully build on their 1-0 lead right now. They are a tired ball club that wants to go home.
That's Will Clark. Flip to Henkin. Perfect lead from the former Gold Glover, Will Clark. Not two away. Regional Sports Report coming up at 11 tonight. A Cardinals recap here from Montreal. The Mets, their highlights, they help out St. Louis. Warner has the last word. More on that story on the Regional Sports Report tonight at 11. Here is Chris Widger. Pitch. Catches the outside corner, 1-1.
Pat's making his third start against the Expos, and Widger is 3 for 5 against him. So Guerrero, Stevens from his days with the Texas Rangers knows Pat, and then Widger. So they've all had success against him.
1-2 pitch. 2-2. Pat was really battling in his last start. Control problems. He was always behind. This was against the Mets at Shea, but kept the Cardinals in the game. Good pitch there on the inside half. Polanco over to Will Clark. And a 1-2-3 inning for Pat Henkin. Polanco, Henkin, beat you 2 up, 1-0 St. Louis.
He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. He's larger than life. He sparked a passion taking the country by storm. And the Sporting News says he's generated more buzz than Oprah Winfrey and Larry King. He's arguably the hippest, freshest, funniest sports talker working today.
You're underpaid. There's no question about that.
That is some serious smack. Jim Rome, The Last Word, tonight at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome to the jungle.
Take a break from the lazy, crazy days of summer with innovative films on Dish on Demand. Famed lyricist and composition duo Gilbert and Sullivan must deal with creative differences and egos as they try to stage their next opera. It's topsy-turvy. Then when a portal is discovered that leads directly into actor John Malkovich's head, a small group of people vie for ultimate control. It's being John Malkovich. And it's a look at the life and times of the late Andy Kaufman, Man on the Moon.
Dish Network introduces America's Top 150, the best value in TV entertainment. The most movies, the most sports, and the most family programming for just $39.99 a month. You'll need a Dish 500 system. Don't have one? For a special promotional offer, you get a new Dish 500 dish antenna and a free basic upgrade professional installation. Call 1-800-333-DISH to order America's Top 150 or your Dish 500 upgrade today. Now Dish Network has more programming choice than ever.
The Braves battle the Cardinals Friday at 6:30.
One hit in this game thus far as we move to the third, and that's a home run off the bat of Will Clark. 1-0 St. Louis. What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light. The great taste said, won't fill you up, never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Friday and Saturday, Fox Sports Net, Atlanta, 6:30 on Friday. 6:30 with Cardinals tonight. Then Saturday on Fox 2, a national game. The 11th, 12th, and 13th, all telecast on television. Fox Sports Net. On the 11th, the 12th is Fox 2. The 13th, WB11. What's on Tap brought to you by Bud Light. Two of the game's best managers going head-to-head, Tony La Russa and Felipe Alou, in the final game of this three-game set. Here is Polanco, followed by Henkin, then Vina. As Johnson goes back to work here in the third. You know, Tony La Russa would love to find more playing time for the man at the plate. That's Placido Polanco.
You'd rather have them just spell people instead of have to play through an injury.
Tough play. Polanco beats it out. Second hit on the night for St. Louis. He's 1 for 1. Leadoff man aboard here in the third.
And that's why, you know, they'd like to have more playing time. He's hit in 21 of his last 27 starts. He has 328 against left-handers, 314 against right-handers, and he just added to that. But you know what? Polanco understands his role. Sure, he'd like to play every day, but what he wants to be is a part of this team, and you have to get contributions from all 25 of your players, and he definitely has contributed.
Polanco is at first. 1 stolen base on the year. Let's see if Henkin can move him over right here. 1-0 Cardinals. Pat is 8 for 34 this season. Lays down a beauty. Only play for Stevens is to first. Vidro there covering. One away and in scoring position at second is Polanco.
I don't understand why pitchers see a guy out there and just lay it right in there for him. Absolutely say, okay, go ahead and execute perfectly. Get your sacrifice. I'll get a guy in scoring position. I mean, nobody ever tries to work on trying to induce the pop-up. They just let guys successfully sacrifice.
Here is Vina. Hit it hard his first time up. Right at Jose Vidro. He's 0 for 1. Chance here for Fernando to add to this 1-0 St. Louis lead. Ball way outside by Mike Johnson. Chance for the Cardinals to go up by 5 games in the Central. Cincinnati lost at Shea this afternoon to the Mets. Dropped 2 of 3 to New York. 1-1 on Vina. Fernando, as we take a look at the numbers for Johnson, 2-2 in June and 2-3 in July. And flying into that bullpen mound of the Expos. He really thought he was hurt. And talking with him before the game, he thought he was going to be missing some time, but as he kind of gathered himself, caught his breath, he felt much better, obviously. Stayed in the game and had a big ice pack and was doing some treatments before the game on that knee.
Once he put weight on it and it didn't collapse on him, he felt much better.
Out of all the injuries that we thought were going to take place last night, looked like a bunch of them, his looked the worst, didn't it?
He looked the worst, and you really weren't sure if it was a knee, if he did something to a quad, a hamstring, a groin area. You know, there it is, and it's not ideal, and they've always had problems as to where to locate the mounds. And here's the play we're talking about last night. A little pop-up goes down here, and then watch where he goes. So he hits the corner of that mound and just sort of propelled him across the mound and got it kind of stretched out.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Langford made that sensational play in left field. His knee is a little swollen today.
Only 2 errors on the season for Vina, and he came up to me before the game and said, when's my feature going to be on Cardinals tonight, Al? As a matter of fact, we've got a fielding feature with Fernando on Friday night.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about his appearance this coming Sunday.
He's all over the place.
Well, this coming Sunday, Fernando Vina, Fernando Tatis, and Edgar Renteria will be appearing from 11 to 1 at Two Hearts Banquet Center. That's 4532 South Lindbergh. So go out there and get the autographs of these three great young men.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Vina. Polanco is at second. Got him. Good pitch there for Mike Johnson, and there's 2 away. Coming up at 10 tonight, it's the all-new National Sports Report on Fox Sports Net. Nightly at 10, internet interaction, news and highlights, opinions and analysis. The National Sports Report coming up tonight at 10 on Fox Sports Net. Second strikeout for Johnson.
Cardinals as a team have struggled with runners in scoring position.
The only time that they haven't is when there's 2 outs.
And 2 out base hits, you know, that's tough to make a living that way, but they got a lot of production that way early in the season.
Comes a 1-0 pitch to Drew. Change-up fooled him, 1-1. Mr. Intensity, Will Clark. Solo shot. Cardinals lead it 1-0. His first in a Redbird uniform.
You know, when Will Clark's watching the game, he's all business.
1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. He's the kind of guy, when you add him to your lineup on an everyday basis, he is going to inject a lot of personality, number one, a lot of fire and intensity. 2-1 pitch. Line drive down the right field line. Curling. Just foul. 2-2. JD went deep. Game 1 of this 3-game set into right. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, JD has missed considerable time as of late. Only hitting .211 with 2 outs and men in scoring position. 2-2 pitch. Full count.
We got a happy birthday boy in the truck. Tom McLaughlin turned 65 today.
I thought it was 66.
Well, it's one of those decades or something, but definitely in the 60s.
In his 5th decade of directing, says Tommy, his producer, alongside, as those two are in the midst of their retro tour here in 2000. 2 away, 1-0 St. Louis. Here is Edmonds, and a chance for Jim to add to this Redbird lead. Rounded out his first time up. His numbers quite impressive. 328, 30 home runs, 72 RBIs. Certainly an MVP candidate. First pitch fouled away.
Buchanan, the third base coach there, tackling some of these younger players. Of course, these Expos and Cardinals get to know each other pretty well in spring training, but with all the injuries they've had, you better know their farm system.
No balls and a strike on Edmonds. 1-1.
Expos currently have 12 players on the disabled list, including 9 pitchers.
Tough to win, isn't it, like that?
It's impossible.
Yeah. 2 away, first and second, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good pitch here for Mike Johnson against Edmonds, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Fouled away.
Jeff Murphy, the bullpen catcher, got hit by a ground ball, and everyone challenging him about, hey, you got to charge those line drives.
A little chopper yesterday, a little foul ball in the dugout.
Is that where on the chin there? Or is that a little whiskers?
Little whiskers.
Well, that's right. Remember, he got hit in the rump.
Yeah.
And it's big. Hard to miss that. I thought
I'll pass that along.
I thought I'll tell him myself. I thought last week, or in the weekend, I thought Murph might be making his Major League debut catching for the Cardinals.
2-2 pitch. Fouled away.
Well, Matheny had the cracked rib and didn't know if he was going to be able to answer the bell.
He's Mr. Intensity. You got Will Clark and you got Jeff Murphy. Wake up.
Gotta go to another pitcher.
2-2 pitch. Live ball. Opposite way. Edmonds. 3-run shot. And another left-hander has gone the opposite way. This time it's Jim Edmonds. And that is home run number 31. And a 4-0 St. Louis lead.
RBIs 73, 4, and 5 for Jim Edmonds. And, you know, both home runs for left-handers, opposite field shots. But we've seen Jim Edmonds. He's hit 31 home runs, and a high percentage of those have been to the opposite field. Look, it's out there towards the end of the bat, and he doesn't think he got enough. He thought it was just a lazy fly ball, and to his surprise and our happiness, put 3 more on the boards. And that wasn't even close. I mean, it went several rows back.
Here is Will Clark. He homered his first time up. Edmonds, 1 for 2 on the night. 3-run homer, now 75 RBIs, as Al mentioned, and 31 home runs on the year. 1-1 on Will Clark. It didn't sound right either off the end of the bat for Edmonds, but nonetheless, it got out.
This ballpark has really never been noted for being easy to hit home runs in.
Opposite way for Will Clark. Easy swing, opposite field. And Will Clark is 3 for his first 3 in a St. Louis uniform. First inning, he went deep. That was number 1 to put the Redbirds on top 1-0. And then Edmonds, the 3-run shot. Of course, Will had the double last night. 4-0 Cardinals.
Brad Armsburg, who started the season as the bullpen coach, the Expos.
Four hits on the night for the Redbirds. Edmonds, home run number 31. Clark, a home run. And it's 4-0. Home plate umpire Scott Higgins has seen enough of this conference on the mound.
I was going to say the start of the season, Armsburg was the bullpen coach, and he is the new owner's personal coach. Got rid of the Bobby Cuellar, and now he moves from bullpen to the pitching coach. And
a lot of coaching changes with the Expos, but not their manager. But many thought that those changes were made so that Felipe Alou may quit.
Right. Making too much money.
$2 million a year. He has 1 more year left on that contract. He signed a 3-year deal back in 1998. One of the game's best managers. A lot of question marks as to whether he'll return next season, but he's got $2 million coming his way and not much pressure. Take a look at both home run swings here for Clark and Edmonds.
Same basic pitch, and get that plate coverage out of the way and just drive the ball the opposite field. And you don't always have to pull the ball to hit it out.
Fernando Tatis is 0 for 1. Fly to center his first time up. 2 away. Clark at first. The 1-2 pitch. Rip foul. Hanging breaking ball. Tatis hitting .314. He missed so much time, but still has 50 RBIs on the year.
He almost has an RBI for every hit.
1-2 pitch. 2-2. Talking why this game is so important. Because the Reds lost. Also, you have Atlanta waiting for you at home, and that will be a very tough series upcoming. Full count on Tatis.
Redbirds will miss Maddox, who's facing off against Schilling tonight, and also Ashby.
And Ashby has been dominant since coming over from the Phillies. And Chin, runner goes, fouled away. Lavin, Burkett, and Millwood. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Busch. Cardinals will have Bennis, Garrett Stevenson, then the ace, Darryl Kyle, on Sunday night. 3-2 pitch. Got him. And Fernando is 0 for 2. But Jim Edmonds has given the Cardinals a 4-run lead. This a 3-run shot, number 31 for Jim.
A ship! I see a ship! Huh?
Time to celebrate.
Hey, that's my Bud Light! Give it to me!
Sir, I'm receiving a signal.
Surrender or die?
Really?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I'm here!
Make it a Bud Light.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington?
With everyday low fares on Southwest Airlines, flying to BWI is your best route to the capital.
We've all had store experiences we'd rather forget. I'm John Ronzik for Auto Tire. We want your business. That's why we make buying tires easier with the bottom line price. Everything's included, every tire, every day. We make it easier to choose with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Uniroyal. And we don't just make buying tires easier. When your car needs service, we offer lifetime brakes, air conditioning service, computerized alignments, and more. At Auto Tire, we'll win you with great prices. We'll keep you with great service.
Hey kids, on Wednesday, August 9th, come watch the Redbirds face the Marlins and receive a back-to-school carrier bag, compliments of Coca-Cola and Deerbergs. All fans ages 15 and under with a paid admission receive a bag to carry to school. For all your school supplies and other personal items, August 9th when the Cardinals play the Marlins. Note the start time is 12:10 at Busch Stadium.
Hey, Danny, I know there's a lot of seats available for that series.
There are some seats available, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Marlins in town. Over 6,000 tickets remain for each of those games. Terrace boxes, terrace reserve, bleachers. Here is Guerrero getting the start tonight. In left. Charge line at Busch Stadium. 421-2400. Open from 8 to 5 Monday through Saturday. Also STLCardinals.com. Slap left side, and that ball is just fair. About a foot inside the line. Dunston to gather it in the corner. And Wilton Guerrero has himself a stand-up double here in the third.
Slash and run type hitter is Guerrero, and has that great speed. Just with the emergence of Vidro, there's no place for him in the infield. They're trying to find something. Look at this, kind of slices it down into the right or left field corner. Just has to go in and dig it out.
That'll bring in the pitcher Johnson. He'll try to move Guerrero from second to third. In the top of the order, and Bergeron. That's another reason why Guerrero is not playing on an everyday basis. All the young outfielders that they have. Milton Bradley, who's just sent down today. They've got Bergeron. Of course, Vidro took his spot at second, Guerrero's spot. Wilton was the everyday second baseman at the start of last season, but really struggled, hit .211 for the first 2 months, and then Vidro took over and then took off. Pickoff play. Guerrero back safely.
One of the reasons why you pay very close attention there, and one, you try and pick him off, but more importantly, you try and get him not to have that accelerated lead, and so you have a better chance to throw him out at third.
Guerrero is at second, and the bunt is laid down. A good one. Only play to first, and they got him. One away. Guerrero moves up to third. He's in scoring position.
Beanie got kind of a tough throw from Tatis, but Johnson does his job. You want to bunt the ball to the third baseman hard enough to get it by the pitcher and make the third baseman come in and field it. I remember now how many times and how aggressive we saw Will Clark when he charged him first. And Will Clark was probably almost, he was really pretty close to that play right there. There's not the very good throw, but Vini could anticipate anything.
Chance here for Bergeron. Breaking ball off the plate. Henkin only plays to first. 4-1 St. Louis as Guerrero comes across the plate with the Expos' first run of the night. Henkin thought about going home, but I think he made the wise choice in going to first.
Yeah, you have to make sure you get one out, and you're backpedaling like that. You're not going to have anything on the throw going to the plate. And with Wilton Guerrero's speed, the high breaking ball bounces so high, he's coming on contact, and there's no way you're going to do it. So you got to make sure you get an out. So Yankee could back up, kind of reset himself, take the crow hop, and get the out at first.
Base is empty. Here is Jose Vidro. Hit into a double play his first time up, started by Fernando Vina. A very good double play, turned by Polanco at second. 1-1. Vidro, 3 hits last night. All-star this season. And Wilton Guerrero has scored the first run of the night for Montreal. 4-1 St. Louis. 1-1 pitch by Henkin. 1-2. Andy Tracy is on deck. Mentioned the Marlins series. Lots of good seats available. August 10th, the Rockies. Terrace box, terrace reserve, and bleachers. Lots of good seats. Philadelphia series. Also good seats. Pat Henkin, part of our key matchup, the Hyundai key matchup. This season on the road, 6-4. One game under 500 at home. Vidro, little chopper. Vina has to be quick. Gets rid of it. Got him at first. What a play by Fernando Vina. And he is slow getting up behind the bag at second, but he seems to be okay. Boy, is he something else or what? Those quick hands of Fernando Vina for out number 3 to get the speedy Jose Vidro. And in the bottom of the third. Redbirds lead it 4-1.
How's it feel to play Millionaire Mania? That's how it feels. It's 14 levels of heart thumping, spine tingling, blood racing, adrenaline rushing thrills. And it's your chance to win $1 million every day. Now at the President Casino. Go for it.
For melt-in-your-mouth treats or wholesome breads and rolls, Schnucks Bakery makes it easy.
Pride of the Farm whole pork butt sliced into steaks is guaranteed to be the lowest price at 97 cents a pound or less. Pilgrim's Pride jumbo pack of split chicken breasts are at an unbeatable low price of 97 cents a pound or less. All varieties of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce are buy one, get one free. And all varieties of Holland ice cream are buy one, get one free.
Schnucks, we make it easy.
With some of the most advanced safety systems ever engineered into a 4x4, including QuadraDrive, our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever, and a quick response steering system. It's no wonder Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the safest ways to cross treacherous terrain. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
This is Jim Rome. Tonight on The Last Word, who's on the move in the NBA and who could be? We'll break down NBA free agency with Pistons head coach George Irvin, Marcus Johnson, and Stephen A. Smith, plus some very bad news for Dennis Miller. 11:30 tonight on Fox Sports Net.
This portion of Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Too many antenna balls can't be wrong. And by your local Chrysler and Jeep dealers. We are in Montreal, north of the border. First time the Cardinals have come to Montreal in 2000, and the only time they'll do so. This season, they lead here tonight 4-1. Here is Sean Dunston. Laid off a breaking ball. It's 4-1 St. Louis. It's Dunston, Matheny, Polanco here in the top half of the fourth. Sean flying to left. His first time up, he's 0 for 1. A couple of great defensive plays by Fernando Vina here tonight. One started a double play. The other one up the middle ended last inning. Sean Dunston made a terrific play a couple nights ago, saving a couple of runs, and Darryl Kyle's start in his 13th victory of the year.
Sean Dunston in that game, a sensational diving catch in left center. A couple times he just showed his terrific passion for the game, the way he hustled. You know, he turned a single into a double. Another time, Felipe Alou the next day went and congratulated him because he said, I had to show my players how to play the game. I mean, he's 37 years of age, and he hit a pop-up, and he was beyond second before the put-out was made.
3 balls and a strike on Dunston. Laid off and took ball 4. Leadoff walk to Sean Dunston here in the top half of the 4th. And that is the second walk issued by Mike Johnson, the Expos starter. Take a look at our Aflac Trivia question for tonight. Who had the first 2 home run game at Busch Stadium?
I know this one, but we aren't going to tell anybody. We got to let people guess these things.
Would that possibly be a clue, Al?
I'm not going to say anything. People say we give the answers too quick.
Fine, then I won't say anything either. Matheny, this might be 2. Blum, the second high throw at first, and they got him. 6-4-3 double play. Bedro, the high throw to Lee Stevens, but he held on, and Mike Matheny is 0 for 2.
Matheny really struggling since he has that cracked rib. He's 0 for 12. And, you know, he swings at the first pitch. This is a point in the order where you really want to try and manufacture something. And I don't think they are afraid of Widger's throwing on him. But swing at the first pitch never really gave him a shot to see if they could put on a hit and run or make something happen.
Here's Polanco, 1 for 1 tonight. Infield base hit, his first time up. First pitch fouled away right to Jose Oquendo. And Oquendo really works with Polanco before games. Takes pride in the fielding aspect of things. That's the one thing that Jose said he took pride in most, was fielding ground balls and being a good defensive player, and works with guys like Paquette and Renteria. This man, Polanco.
And there's more coaching today that goes on at the major league level than any other time. Guys are rushed to the big leagues, and you know, every day you should be a learning experience. And you go sit with that man next to Tony La Russa there, and you can sit there and you can learn a lot.
This guy just flat out hits. Polanco is 2 for 2.
Well, that's why you're trying to, you know, get the leadoff man into scoring position for Polanco to drive him in.
Well, it's time for the FanFest Legend of the Game. Winners in our FanFest sweepstakes win Cardinals gift certificates, autographed baseballs, and tickets to the TV broadcast booth for the season finale. Leo DeRocher is our Legend of the Game. Here is Pat Henkin. Henkin had a sack his first time up. Leo DeRocher, our Legend of the Game. To enter our random drawing, visit foxsports.com. Click on Midwest before 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Click on Leo DeRocher, and you could win. So good luck from Fox Sports Net. Oh, 2 on Henkin. Pat is 8 for his first 34. Pretty good hitter for spending all that time in the American League.
His philosophy is to make contact, put it in play. I'm not concerned about what it looks like.
Puts it in play here, but Tracy has the easy force at second. And that does end the Cardinals here in the top half of the 4th. Through 3.5. Tracy, Guerrero, Stevens due up.
We've all had store experiences we'd rather forget. I'm John Ronzik for Auto Tire. We want your business. That's why we make buying tires easier with the bottom line price. Everything's included, every tire, every day. We make it easier to choose with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Uniroyal. And we don't just make buying tires easier. When your car needs service, we offer lifetime brakes, air conditioning service, computerized alignments, and more. At Auto Tire, we'll win you with great prices. We'll keep you with great service.
Introducing America's Top 150 with great sports action, Speed Vision, CNNSI, the Outdoor Channel, Outdoor Life Network, and Discovery Wings. With family programming both adults and children will enjoy. 4 more channels from Discovery, plus Wham, Boomerang, Do It Yourself, History Channel International, and the Biography Channel. And over 500 commercial-free movies each month with 8 channels from Encore and the Movie Channel. Get the best value in TV entertainment for just $39.99 a month. Call 1-800-333-DISH to upgrade today.
Walt Disney Pictures, a proud supporter of public broadcasting, is pleased to present The Straight Story, a new film by director David Lynch. Richard Farnsworth, Sissy Spacek. Discover America at 5 miles per hour. The Straight Story.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Affleck trivia question for tonight. Who had the first 2 home run game at Busch Stadium? Felipe Alou.
It was the very first game ever played at Busch Stadium.
Fine major league career for Felipe Alou. Actually starred in 1963 with his 2 brothers in the same outfield in one game. So Felipe Alou is bounced around, learned how to manage in the minor leagues, and now is the all-time winningest manager in Expos history. Guests on Cardinal Baseball receive a gift certificate to Chevy's Fresh Mix. Stop by one of the 7 locations where the food's made fresh every day. Danson Will Clark is our guest on the pregame show, and he'll receive that gift certificate to Chevy's Fresh Mix. I've never seen Will Clark dance like that. Matter of fact, I've never seen him dance. He's always got that game face on, man. He doesn't dance.
Next time, just go up and ask him.
No. I'm not going to ask him to dance.
Just ask him, would you like to dance?
I'll pass.
I just want to see him hit.
He's done that.
Okay. I want to see more of it.
Here's Andy Tracy. Tracy Guerrero, then Stevens. If anybody can reach, then Jeff Blum. 2-0. First time up, Tracy walked. Fouled away. 2-1. Now we have Preston Lewis in our booth from Clarksville, Arkansas. Of all things, he was picked up by Mike Shannon in the subway here in Montreal, found his way to the booth, and now found his way into our booth. And his father is watching the game on Fox Sports Net. Jim back in Clarksville. So hello, Jim. Preston is in the fine hands and care of Mike Shannon here in Montreal.
I think Preston. I mean, you and Shannon in the subway, huh? there he is. And you're still in one piece.
That's shocking, isn't it?
Hey, Dad. Wave goodbye to him right now. You'll never see him again. Oh, we're leaving town. Here's Marty. Here's the best guy in the whole wide world. Even though he stood us up and didn't show up last night. But our good buddy Jerry replaced him.
2-2 pitch. And the good care of Mike Shannon. It just doesn't sound right.
Believe me, he will have stories back for Arkansas.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Andy Tracy. Got him. Henkin battled back. It was 2-0. Got it to 2-2 and strikes him out swinging.
Danny, of course, you know, I was a nice mama's boy until I met Torrey, Brock, Gibson, McCarver, Shannon. All those guys corrupted the hell out of me, and I've been thanking them ever since.
Somehow I just don't think you were a nice guy. Maybe at any portion of your life, Al. Maybe occasionally. I mean, you show some...
Maybe you're right.
Yes. I mean, you were born with this, man. That attitude, the scowl. You probably had a Fu Manchu at the age of 6. Here's Guerrero. 1-1.
I did run away from home when I was 6 months old.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why. I just did.
You ran away at 6 months?
6 months old. Put my cowboy boots on and nothing else and ran away.
A scary
Didn't get too far.
Yeah. You at any age with no clothing on is scary. 2 balls and a strike on Guerrero. 3-1.
And Henkin, the first time up, really came in hard on Vladimir. Got him to third base. Actually retired him twice because he had that one pop-up that went off the glove of Will Clark and into the dugout.
And he walks Guerrero.
That's not bad. You know, that's how Tony wants. All season long, Tony has instructed his pitchers, don't let Barry Bonds, don't let Ken Griffey, don't let Vladimir Guerrero beat you in games. And it's not just rookies. There's been a lot of veterans out there who are guilty of committing the ultimate sin.
Here is Lee Stevens. And this is the guy that La Russa was concerned about prior to the game. 5 for 13 against Henkin in his career. So you pitch around Guerrero, then you deal with a guy in Stevens that has had success against Pat in his career.
Well, the one thing is you get him to hit it on the ground, and it's right at somebody, you'll get 2.
1-0 pitch. Throw behind, they got him. Great job by Mike Matheny and also Will Clark. 2 away. Don't see that out of a club managed by Felipe Alou very often.
Well, I'll tell you, in this series, the veterans have really outplayed all the youngsters. They've out-hustled them. They've out-fought them. And as you say, you're trailing 4-1. Where are you going? And just a great throw from Mike Matheny. But what would we expect? He has just been exceptional, the best in baseball this year at throwing out base runners. And no place to go, Vladimir.
1-2 pitch. Stays 1-2. Mike Matheny has to be a front runner for the Gold Glove this season. Right up there with anybody.
Well, unfortunately, when you talk about Gold Glover, for some reason, a guy's offense always comes into the pitcher. Shouldn't be that way.
1-2 pitch. And another strikeout for Pat Henkin. So they pick off Vladimir Guerrero. And they strike out Stevens. And they also struck out Tracy, the heart of the order. 4-1 St. Louis.
Flying to Chicago Midway for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Chicago Midway, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Well, when I got hurt in this work, thought I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that? Aflac.
Well, even the best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does? Aflac.
Shouldn't ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called? Aflac!
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Aflac.
With some of the most advanced safety systems ever engineered into a 4x4, including QuadraDrive, our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever, and a quick response steering system, it's no wonder Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the safest ways to cross treacherous terrain. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
It's a playoff preview at Busch. Chipper Jones leads a menacing Braves attack. But the Cardinals' monstrous power makes them fearless. Friday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
4-1 St. Louis. A couple of home runs for the Cardinals here tonight. Edmonds a 3-run shot. Will Clark a home run, a solo shot. And it's 4-1 Redbirds. Regional Sports Report Coming up at 11 on Fox Sports Net, Cardinals recap from Montreal. The Mets help the Redbirds, and Warner has the last word. More on that at 11 on the Regional Sports Report. Vigna, Drew, and Edmonds. Vigna lays down the bunt. It's a foot race. Can he get there? Safe at first. He does whatever it takes to get on, and this time the bunt, the dive at first, he's in there safe. Nobody out, the man on.
We're talking about how much fun it is to watch Will Clark. Well, you can say the same thing about Fernando Vigna. He knows how to play the game and play it hard. And he just makes this, bunts it out there. It's a foot race, as you said, and then he dives for the tape, and it's like now they're looking at his hand. I told our trainers that they got way too much camera time last night, and now Brad Henderson is out there at the hand. The nail.
Yeah, maybe the nail bent back. He went in hard at first, and Vigna is safe. Here in the 5th, he's 1 for 3 on the night.
Yeah, you can still go in feet first, too. And somebody else is not going to want to dive head first. First baseman is going to want to dive head first if you go in here sliding feet first. He tries to kind of slide around the tag, and he reaches that base, and maybe he jammed it, the left hand and the thumbnail into the bag. It's the only time chewing tobacco is of any use. Spit on it. Go play it. But as we told you, use bubblegum juice. Nope, no chewing tobacco.
Ask Canizero in Minnesota about that. He swallowed it. Here's J.D. Drew. Shows bunt, pops it up, and that's out number 1. J.D.'s going to have a better effort than that. He's 0 for 2. You know he can pull the ball. He can drive it. Nobody out. Go up there swinging away.
You got a lane open as they hold on Vigna. You got a off-speed pitcher who is easy to pull the ball off of. He thought he could trick him.
Here's Edmonds. Last time up, 3-run homer for Jim. Now has 31 on the year. Hitting .330. Edmonds, opposite field. Did he do it again? Yes, a 2-run shot for Jim Edmonds. 6-1 St. Louis. Home run number 32 for Jim, and 5 RBIs on the night. Back-to-back home runs for Edmonds.
And Jim Edmonds is going to go home, sleep in his new home for the second time, and see his girls who coming in this afternoon. I hope they got Fox Sports Net to be watching this performance by Dad. As his second home run, a 3-run shot in the 3rd, now a 2-run shot here in the 5th, and almost identical. All 3 home runs have all been to the opposite field from Will Clark and 2 by Edmonds.
That one I think he knew. Remember the first one, the 3-run shot, he just kind of put the head down. He looked kind of disgusted with himself. It was off the end of the bat.
Well, on this one, it sounded much crisper, but the other one went much further.
But the ball is not juiced, Alan. Don't forget that.
I would never accuse the baseball of being juiced. High-end quality.
That's your explanation,
High-end quality. They're all 9s and 10s out there.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Will Clark. He's 2 for 2 and 3 for 3 now in his Cardinal debut. The last 2 nights.
It wouldn't hurt me if he shows up Friday night at Busch Stadium about 5 or 6 for 6.
Now there's some action in that Montreal bullpen.
Felipe Lira, the right-hander, is warming up. His second time by being up. Now they're looking a little bit more at Fernando.
Clark fouled it away. 2-2. Bean just started the inning with a bunt single, diving in at first. Brad Henderson working on that hand. 2-2 pitch now to Will Clark.
Couldn't tell, but it looked like maybe the index finger?
Couldn't tell either. Three home runs in this game, 2 by Edmonds, 1 by Will Clark. He's at the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on and 1 away. Clark fouls it away. Redbirds up 6-1. They're just joining us. The Mets beat Cincinnati this afternoon. So as we speak, 4.5 up.
It's the thumb.
Yep. Maybe the nail.
Or that last digit.
Clark took a ball. And a 1-out walk. No stand at first. And Jim Edmonds has gone deep twice here tonight. Now with 77 RBIs. And these are his 2 home runs tonight. Pretty identical swings. Wound up in identical places. Over the left field wall. Different reaction zone.
And the first one, you see he puts his head down, kind of mad at himself. And then after that one went out, this time he goes, I hit this one pretty good, and so it should go too. And it did. And Felipe Alou say goodbye to Mr. Johnson. And Felipe Lira is now pitching.
Johnson is done. He came in 5-5 with a high ERA. Rough night for him. He cannot get through 5. And Felipe Alou has lifted him. Part of our call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Lowe's. Call Lowe's for all your home improvement needs. Lowe's improving home improvement. Redbirds on top 6-1 in game number 3 of this 3-game set. Back to live action. Off the bat of Fernando Tatis, a drive down the left field line. The ball was fair, and he'll stand at second with a double. Will Clark up to third on the play. Still only 1 out. Welcome to the game, Felipe Lira.
And Tatis now extends his hitting streak to 5 games, and well off the plate. And this ball just kind of running right into him, trying to pitch inside, but you see how far he's off the plate. So that's a sweet part of the bat. Just down into the left field corner. And with only 1 out here, they hold up Clark. So runners at second and third for Sean Dunston.
Infield is in. Dunston a chance here to add to this 6-1 lead. The starter for the Expos, Mike Johnson. Final line, 4 1/3, 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Felipe Lira, right-hander in this game, 37th game he's appeared in. Record of 2-1. 1 more run could be charged to Johnson after he issued the walk to Will Clark. But Tatis at second is all Felipe Lira's. 1 pitch off the end of the bat into left. Guerrero is there. And tagging up is Will Clark. He'll score easily. And it's 7-1 St. Louis. RBI for Dunston, number 35.
That's all Sean needed to do. Lift that ball 300+ feet out there. And remember, you have an infielder playing left field. So Will Clark comes around to score, and that run will be charged. The 7th run charged to the starter Johnson. There you see the throw, and I don't know why the cutoff man didn't cut it off, because the pitcher was the one that retrieved the ball. And you can't blame it on crowd noise.
That's for sure. Here is Matheny. He is struck out and grounded into a double play. And struggling at the plate since cracking his rib in New York, the collision with Agbayani at home.
Well, we know it doesn't affect his throwing. What it does affect him more so is swinging the bat, particularly on pitches where he reaches out and does not make contact.
Up the middle, tough play for Blum. But he's there to his left. over to Lee Stevens, and Matheny is retired, but the Cardinals get some more runs this inning. 3 more. Jim Edmonds has 2 home runs in this game. A 3-run shot, also a 2-run shot. Dunston adds the RBI. 7-1 St. Louis.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
How many fingers? Hey, Spike. Hey, back on your feet after all that work you missed.
Yeah, good thing my supplemental insurance kicked in.
Supple what?
Flat. Well, even the best health insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What does?
Flat. Oh, sorry, buddy. What? Anyway, ask about it at work.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Ask about what?
Announcing the most amazing offer in Pizza Hut history, the Pizza Hut America online shopping spree. Now when you order the Big New Yorker for just $9.99, you get $30 free online cash. That's right, $30 free. Log on to AOL keyword Pizza Hut or AOL.com Pizza Hut. Get the stuff you want, like clothing, video games, pet supplies, DVD players, and more. A pizza that's 30% larger than a large for $9.99, plus $30 online cash. It's like we're giving money away. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
This is Jim Rome. Tonight on The Last Word, who's on the move in the NBA and who could be? We'll break down NBA free agency with Pistons head coach George Irvin, Marcus Johnson, and Stephen A. Smith, plus some very bad news for Dennis Miller. 11:30 tonight on Fox Sports Net.
Coming up, a chance to watch Jim Edmonds at a reduced rate at Busch Stadium for only $10. You'll receive a terrace reserve seat, small soda, regular hot dog. August 10th at 2:10, Rockies and Cardinals discount packages. 421-2400. Terrace box, terrace reserve, bleachers. 421-2400 or STLCardinals.com.
By the way, Jim Edmonds ties his career high with 5 RBIs in his 11th 2-run home run game.
Here is Jeff Blum, breaking ball right at the second baseman, and that is Polanco. Savina out of this game. Hopefully he's okay. Remember, he dove into first base, and Brad Henderson was working on the hand of Vina. He headed to the clubhouse after he came around in that home run by Edmonds, and Renteria takes over at short for St. Louis. George Kissel, Dave Duncan, Tony La Russa looking on. 7-1 Redbirds. Here is Widger. First pitch, up the middle, and a base hit.
Chris had a pair of hits last night and 1 for 2 here tonight. And he was just 5 for 20 on this homestand.
Only the second hit of the night for Montreal against Pat Henkin, who's now working with a 6-run lead. But as you have said time and time again, Al, you really don't change because you have that big lead. You're still aggressive. You go at people, but there's that fine line between being aggressive and just putting it over the plate.
You still pitch your game. You know, you don't want to walk anybody with a big lead. You don't want to walk anybody when it's a 0-0 game. So just pitch your game and throw strikes. Get early strikes in the count, and then the hitter make him defensive and stand his strike zone.
Here is Wilton Guerrero. Doubled his first time up down the left field line. But he was left stranded back in the third. One pitch. 1-2. Chance for Pat Henkin to earn his 10th victory here in 2000.
More importantly, he's really showing you the competitor he is. And got off to a little rocky start, but that confrontation with Vladimir Guerrero, and he has responded.
Seemed like everybody got fired up about that. Fernando Saganol is on deck.
Well, I think sometimes hitters just think that pitchers are supposed to try and serve it up for them. They aren't supposed to try and get them out.
Full count now on Guerrero. Did you see the play with Rodriguez the other night? Alex Rodriguez pitched inside by Frascatore.
Yes.
A couple different times, and
well, you know,
he didn't like it.
Well, he got hit the day before by Frascatore, but 3 of the Blue Jays were hit in that game. And then when he got thrown inside, Frascatore got run. So did Togosi, the manager, and I think David Wells got run in that game too. And then the next inning, one of the Blue Jays gets hit, and the pitcher's not ejected.
Didn't make any sense. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, well hit, center field. Guerrero got under it. Edmonds is there. Out number 2. So Guerrero, 1 for 2 on the night, has scored the lone run for Montreal, and it's 7-1 St. Louis.
Pinch hitter
Fernando Saganol has stepped in. Big man, 6'5", 230. We saw him last night. Has good power. Better hitter from the left side. Average at 357, 4 homers and 9 RBIs. First pitch to Saganol. Broken bat down the right field line, and fair. Late break by J.D. Drew. What was he waiting for?
That was the weirdest thing. I think everybody thought that it was a foul ball. But, I mean,
everybody stopped. But J.D.'s got to make at least a move.
I mean, you know, you're asking, it's like everybody's sitting here like, did it hit a speaker? Did it do something?
Now they're going to check the baseball.
Take a look at it now. He jams him, and he comes in with a cutter, and he breaks the bat. And look at JD still watching flat-footed, you know, and it's a fair ball. But I mean, it was like you thought he had pulled it foul. Obviously, JD didn't see it. Now look at Widger looking. Nobody's reacting. I mean, everybody thought the ball was a foul ball or something, and I thought for sure it was.
It looked like it when he turned on it. Second and third now. Take a look at the swing. He broke his bat. I don't think it caught it twice, would it, Al? Break it and come around
I know
again?
what you're saying, but
that'd be crazy.
You know, it's a cutter. He comes in on it, and he breaks it. Now look at, he doesn't run.
He said, "Oh, this is fair."
You know, that's not what he said, but but I mean, that was the weirdest thing because JD, the right fielder, didn't react. The hitter didn't react. The base runner didn't react, as if the ball was pulled foul and hit a speaker, but it never got that high.
No one was moving, including J.D. Drew, and no doubt the man at first should have scored. Plenty of time to come around from first. That didn't happen, so it's up to Bergeron.
Never seen a play where no one reacts. And there's speakers that hang down and that have been hit, but it never reached that altitude.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Tatis way off the bag at third. 2-2. Bergeron has walked tonight and drove in the lone run for Montreal. Two-two pitch. Full count. Hinkin has started low early in counts and then trying to get batters to chase.
You know, the days that he pitched up in the strike zone are over. So he's got to go down, and then the optical illusion of getting someone to chase up. Now, this is a smart thing by Matheny right here. Make sure you got a 3-2 pitch. You've got a young hitter up there. He likes to walk. He's got a pretty good eye. But any hitter in this 3-2 situation is going to think, you know, I'm probably going to see a fastball. Especially with Vidro, who leads the National League in hits on deck.
Comes a 3-2 pitch. Check swing, foul. And that was up again.
But it was a jam shot.
Yep. 7-1 Cardinals here in the 5th. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Peter Bergeron, 2nd and 3rd. Fouled away again. Have you ever seen a play like that? That last by
never.
Saginaw?
Never.
Another 3-2 pitch. Walked him. Bases loaded.
He kept on making quality pitches, and Bergeron, one of the things he does, has pretty good batting eye.
So bases loaded for Vidro. And he has a chance to get the Expos back in this game. He's a dangerous man at the plate. Tracy to follow. Henkin will work from the windup. First pitch to him is a ball. Andrew Fletcher, our umpire, down the left field line. Vidro does have a grand slam, hitting 167 with the bases loaded. 1-0 pitch coming. 2-0.
Henkin's making his pitches, and you know, you just can't put it on a tee. Got a good hitter up here. It's an all-star. He's batting .343.
2-0 pitch. 3-0.
I'll tell you what, he's made some pitches, and
last 2 look good.
Vidro hasn't offered at him.
Three balls and no strikes. On the All-Star, Jose Vidro. Anxious moments here for Tony La Russa in the 5th. There's a strike. 3-1. Vidro tonight grounded into a double play. Also grounded to second to end the 3rd. He's 0 for 2. 3 balls and a strike. Fly ball down the right field line. Drew makes the play and saves a bunch of runs. What a play by J.D. Drew in right. And he keeps it a 6-run St. Louis lead. A great jump in right and makes the play. What a play by J.D. It's 7-1 Redbirds.
33 years, 186 million batteries, over 700 billion starts. And now, Die Hard is stopping. Car thieves. Introducing the Die Hard Security Battery, the only battery that attacks auto theft at the source. The power source. Die Hard Security. To learn more, call us or come see it at Sears. The good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Hot Hollywood hits are making a splash this month on Dish on Demand. After assuming his best friend's identity, a young man must continue his ruse to protect his new lifestyle. It's the talented Mr. Ripley. Then an ex-boxing contender must deal with his time in prison for a crime he did not commit. It's the Hurricane. And 2 best friends and one-time boxing contenders travel to Las Vegas for a match that might resurrect the winner's career. It's Play It to the Bone. Watch Channel 500 for movie previews and use your remote to order.
How would you like to get $100 in free programming? You can with the new Dish Network Rewards Refer a Friend program. You already enjoy the great programming and service Dish Network offers. Now your friends can enjoy it too, and we'll give you all the credit. It's easy. Just introduce a friend to Dish Network's Digital Dynamite plan and earn $50 in free programming for each new residential Dish Network customer. That's $100 when you introduce up to 2 new friends. Tune to Channel 250 for more details about Dish Network's new Refer a Friend program.
Baseball's top guns take the mound. Complete MLB coverage tonight at 10 at midnight.
This portion of Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Steak and Shake. And by Affleck. Without it, no insurance is complete. And by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. You can depend on Dobbs. We're in Montreal, the final game of this 3-game set. Pat Henkin picked up some help from that man, J.D. Drew, wearing number 7. You can say what you want about J.D. at different times. Maybe making poor decisions, whatever the case may be, but he gets good jumps, and in particular, Al, in right field, and he saved at least 3 runs, I think, on that play there.
Well, it's a great play right there, and it's a do-or-die play. I'm not faulting him on that other one because
everybody stopped.
Yeah, it was everybody stopped, but he sure made up for it and saved Pat Hinkin and the Redbirds with that catch. Julio Santana becomes the 3rd Expos pitcher used here today.
It'll be Polanco, Henkin, and the top of the order. Santana, part of our call to the bullpen, brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's improving home improvement. For all your home improvement needs, call Lowe's. Polanco has had a nice night at the plate. Pair of base hits. He's 2 for 2. Average at 325. Been some great defensive play, capped off by that last play by J.D. Drew. Polanco is now at second base, started at short, but Vigna is out of this game. That was last night, flying into the bullpen tonight. He reached base, a bunt single, dove into first, and may have hurt his hand.
Jammed his thumb, and the reason why they've taken him out, get a little treatment. As you mentioned, you don't ever get too worried when you put Polanco in at any spot on the diamond. I've even told Polanco, I said, you ought to tell him that you want to go to instructional league and play for 10 days, 2 weeks in the outfield.
Probably could do it.
Sure he could do it. And you make yourself that much more valuable, create more playing opportunities for yourself.
You have to figure that Polanco is one of the best utility guys in the major leagues right now, if not the best. With his average above 320.
And he's saying, you're going to jump up, catch the ball. Don't block my view.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Polanco. 2-2 pitch. Right at the first baseman, Lee Stevens. 3rd time tonight Polanco has hit the ball hard. He's 2 for 3. Well, you and Mike Shannon in our pregame show talked about the emotion of this team, always playing hard, and Polanco shows a little bit of emotion there. He wanted that base hit.
Well, sure he does. You know, he hit the ball hard, and those things even out, but you can never convince that of a hitter.
Here's Henkin. Sack his first time up. Grounded to 3rd. Back in the 4th. 2 balls and no strikes. With 1 away. 2-1. Be nice to see Pat Henkin pick up victory number 10 here tonight. He has battled this season. Shows the emotion out there. Gotta like that. Seems like every start he'll give you 6-7 quality innings. 3-1 pitch. Full count.
I laugh sometimes, Danny, where the phrase now that people use in the game is that the guy has good mound presence. I said, what does that mean? That he's getting his brains knocked out and he doesn't show any emotion? Give me the guy that's emotional out there. That's your winner.
He'll pump his fists, slap his glove. He'll do whatever it takes to get fired up. He's been a good pickup this season for Walt Jocketty and the Cardinals. Line down the right field line and into the seats. It's 7-1 Cardinals here in the 6th. Another sparse crowd here at Olympic Stadium. Last two nights over 9,000 on both nights. And Henkin draws the one-out walk. Coming up at 10, it's the National Sports Report. Athletes and Politics Report. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the open mic segment. Kevin Mitchell erupts. 10 o'clock on the National Sports Report.
Uh-oh.
What did he do?
Yeah, what's that about? I'm trying to make a comeback. Let's hope it's on a positive eruption, not a something off the field. Or I always like Kevin.
Here's Renteria. One guy who has made a comeback this season is Doc Good. Now at the Yankees. What a job he has done for New York, as David Cohn has kind of lost it in 2000. They started today 4 games up. The American League East over Boston. Chicago 11.5 up. AL Central over Cleveland. And Seattle and Oakland. This might be 2, and it is. 6-4-3 double play. That ends the top half of the 6th. Tracy, Guerrero, and Stevens 2 up.
Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Who's asking about Viagra? Someone you might expect, and also someone that maybe you wouldn't. In fact, you may be surprised at who's talking to their doctors about Viagra. So ask your doctor if a free trial of Viagra is right for you. Who's asking about Viagra? Maybe it should be you.
I'm Rob Nikolewski. Coming up tonight on the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, the Cards finally wrap up their long 20-game stretch in which they've played 17 games on the road. We'll have highlights from Montreal. Meantime, Royals pitcher Blake Stein pitched a great game this afternoon at Yankee Stadium as the Royals beat New York 4-1. We've got the details. We'll also have the latest from Rams and Chiefs training camps. It was family day for the Chiefs. The players mingling with the fans. We've got that story and a whole lot more tonight on the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report.
The Rangers are poised to shut down the Jays' drive to the pennant. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Net.
Cardinal fans, here's the opportunity for your family to be the family of the game. Enter to become the Southwest Airlines family of the game. Very easy to do. Send in a postcard. You're entered to win. One lucky family will be selected at random from the entries received. Be the Southwest Airlines family of the game. Log on for low fares. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of e-freedom. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Dan McLaughlin alongside of Al Raboski. Glad to have you along here north of the border in Montreal. 7-1 Cardinals. 8 hits on the night. 3 home runs for the Redbirds. 2 by Jim Edmonds and 1 by Will Clark. Cardinals lead it 7-1. That's us, and we're in Montreal. Olympic Stadium. Our lone visit against the Expos. see these guys a lot during spring training in Jupiter, but first time we've hooked up this season north of the border. Andy Tracy, Vladimir Guerrero, and Lee Stevens. 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Like what you've seen so far out of Henkin?
Yes, I have. He's giving that veteran presence and outing out there, picking up his team.
Big breaking ball and got him. Third strikeout of the night for Pat Henkin.
Doing what he's allowing his defense, but the breaking ball is so key for him. If he's got the breaking ball going, then he was going to be a handful. If he doesn't, if he's inconsistent with that, then it's that much tougher for him to compete with just the cutter. And, you know, it's in a fastball.
Here is Vladimir Guerrero. Vladimir, the 3-run home run last night, popped out, walked here tonight. Right on the button, but Renteria makes the play, bounces it to first, and they get him. And Guerrero is out at first, 2 away. The defense tonight has been outstanding for the Cardinals. Here's another example as to why.
He almost snares that ball when it's behind him. He didn't mean to throw it that far in front of Will Clark, but when you utilize the turf and they get him at the wire, Guerrero doesn't agree with it, but he was out. And that's a dangerous hitter that Henkin has really handled tonight.
What a play by Renteria on Vladimir Guerrero, who's 0 for 2. He did walk in the fourth, but was picked off by Mike Matheny. Take a look at our Casino Queen leaderboard. Batting average, active leaders against right-handers. Vladimir Guerrero in the top 5 at 324. One of the best players in the majors. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just missed, low and away to Lee Stevens.
Some people believe he's the best player in the National League.
Hit to first. Will Clark is there. He'll take it himself. So the heart of the order, Tracy, Guerrero, and Stevens. Second time they've come up 1, 2, 3 in an inning. And Pat Henkin sets him down in order. Vladimir Guerrero's 0 for 2. Didn't like the call. Cardinals are up 7-1.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? With everyday low fares on Southwest Airlines, flying the BWI is your best route to the capital.
You are now free to move about the country.
Dish Entertainment Magazine brings home the best in entertainment to keep you tuned in to all of your favorite programs. From sci-fi to drama, to mystery, to comedy, we'll show you a world of enjoyment that's open to you. It's not just entertainment, but a complete listing of all your favorite programs and networks scheduled on the Dish Network. There's something for everyone, and best of all, it's only $3.95 per month. To order, call 1-800-333-DISH. Dish Entertainment Magazine. Don't stay home without it. Hot Hollywood hits are making a splash this month on Dish On Demand. After assuming his best friend's identity, a young man must continue his ruse to protect his new lifestyle. It's the talented Mr. Ripley. Then an ex-boxing contender must deal with his time in prison for a crime he did not commit. It's the Hurricane. And 2 best friends and one-time boxing contenders travel to Las Vegas for a match that might resurrect the winner's career. It's Play It to the Bone. Watch Channel 500 for movie previews and use your remote to order.
Baseball's top guns take the mound. Complete MLB coverage tonight at 10 and midnight.
Hey kids, if you're between the ages of 8 and 14, come visit the Sports Authority in your area between August 1st and August 27th. There you can enter to win a chance to take a Cardinals player back to school with you this fall. How about that? The Sports Authority nearest you. Call 1-888-LOOK-4TSA. 1-888-LOOK-4TSA. 7-1 Cardinals, and here is J.D. Drew. Edmonds and Clark due up after Drew, who probably made the thus far defensive play of the night. The bases loaded and ended the inning with a great catch in right. J.D. tonight is line to right, walked, popped out. 3-0. J.D. Drew. Jim Edmonds will try to make it a 3-home run night here in Montreal. 4 straight, and J.D.'s aboard here in the 7th. That'll bring in Edmonds. Quite a night for Jim. 3-run home run in the 3rd, 2-run shot in the 5th. 5 RBIs.
Tied his career high in RBIs at 5 in his 11th multi-home run game.
First pitch to Edmonds. 5 straight balls now thrown by Julio Santana. First time up, Edmonds didn't think he got it, but he did. 3-run shot. Then he did it again opposite field. That was a 2-run home run, 5 RBIs, and 32 home runs now for Jim Edmonds. 77 RBIs on the year. And 5 straight balls now thrown, or rather 6 straight, by Julio Santana.
You think maybe it's not wise to pitch him away?
Anywhere. He can hit it to all fields. Ooh, big cut there, 2-1.
But after someone hits 2 home runs in the opposite field, maybe you change location in.
Yeah. This guy isn't the MVP. I don't know who is. He'll be one of the candidates. And 1 on Edmonds. So much was made about the center fielder that the Reds acquired, but this guy, I think, has played better now. Edmonds.
Make a strong case. Obviously, Griffey, the average way down, and Jim's up. And I think we believe that he's played better defensively than Griffey.
Griffey, I don't think, is above 250 yet. Right around 245. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jim Edmonds. And he walked him. 2 straight walks dished out by Santana. First and second, nobody out.
Walked 3 of the last 4 men he's faced. And a double play in there to get him out of his first inning of work.
No activity in the Montreal bullpen. And Will Clark will step in. Will Clark has had a nice debut for the Redbirds. 4 times he has come to the plate the last 2 nights. Reached base all 4 times. Double, home run, single, and a walk in his last at bat. (7-1) St. Louis. Edmonds at first. J.D. Drew at second. Chance for Clark to add to this 6-run lead. Fouled away. Tatis on deck. Last night, first at bat in a St. Louis uniform off the wall, and a double for Will Clark. 2nd inning. He put the Cardinals on top. Tonight, he went opposite field just like Jim Edmonds. 3 home runs between those 2 tonight. And he just went with a nice easy swing opposite field with a base hit. Walked his last time up. No balls and a strike on Will Clark. Line drive down the right field line and hooking foul. 0-2.
Well, Will Clark probably was teammates with Santana at some point with the Texas Rangers. Santana spent a little time with Texas and Tampa Bay.
No balls and 2 strikes on Will Clark. The 0-2 pitch gets away from the catcher, Widger. Runners will move up. Edmonds to second. J.D. Drew to third. Widger came in with 6 errors, and that one got away from him.
He really boxed the ball up last night and scored a wild pitch. There is a wild pitch, but once again, look at this effort. I mean, he didn't know where it was, but Perez had a situation last night where he went all the way to second on a walk, where Widger just turned around the umpire and looked for a new ball.
And it took him a while to get rid of that mask, too. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Will Clark. Infield in. Pop foul. There's the mask. A lot of the catchers now using that hockey-style goalie mask behind the plate.
It does have a hole in it.
One ball and 2 strikes on Clark. Line drive, base hit into right. J.D. Drew will score. Edmonds makes a turn around third. He'll stop right there. And Will Clark tonight 3 for 3. A pair of base hits, home run, 2 RBIs. Had the double last night, and a sweet swing of Will Clark.
He's just so fluid, and you throw strikes to him, and he's going to hit the ball hard. And if anybody thought that Will Clark at advanced age has forgot about hitting,
He talked about coming to St. Louis, being back in contention, playing for a contender, and he's fired up about it and injecting some life into this lineup.
Danny, there's times in a guy's career where change is welcome and change in environment. But really what's special for Will at his age is to come back to the National League and to be into a pennant race. That is the best cure-all for a great hitter and a guy that's closing out on a good career.
Ground ball. This may be 2. Vidro the turn, and they get the double play. Edmonds scores a run. And the Cardinals just roll along. 9-1 St. Louis. And there's 2 away. The name of Cesar Cedeno comes to mind when you think about acquisitions late in the season that helped out St. Louis and brought life to a team. And
that's right. Could not have won, and that was 87, 85 or 87. One of them. They all blend into me. And I'm not trying to say Will is through after this year. He'll be a free agent. But I think he understands what team baseball is and understands what you have to do to contribute to a winning cause.
9-1 Cardinals, and here is Sean Dunston. Took a ball. Sean tonight, blind to left. Walked and had a sac fly. Now with 35 RBIs on the year. 8-run lead for St. Louis. 2-0 on Dunston. Off day tomorrow for the Cardinals after they fly home tonight. Then Atlanta comes to town. Andy Bennis against Tom Glavine on Friday night. Garrett Stevenson, John Burkett Saturday, and then Sunday, Darryl Kyle and Kevin Millwood. So you avoid Ashby. You avoid Maddox. We've got the telecast Friday night on Fox Sports Net. 6:30 with Cardinals tonight. 3-1 the count on Dunston. Folks, come on down and see Will Clark. You know he'll get a nice ovation from the fans in St. Louis.
Well, I'd say once again the fans really want to help out this ball club. Just greet everyone with a standing ovation when they take the field on Friday night. That'll pump them back into reality.
Peter Bergeron puts away out number 3. The Cardinals add 2 more. It's 9-1.
The National Sports Report presents this sports break.
What's happening, everybody? I'm John Kelly with this sports break for the National Sports Report. Coming up tonight, Spurs fans breathing a sigh of relief as Tim Duncan signs on again. We tell you how much he gets. Could Cardinals owner Bill Bidwell have his football team on the move once again? And Houston's got more than one problem. Craig Biggio gets some company on that DL. We have that and all the baseball coming up tonight at 10 on the National Sports Report.
Out of cash? Wouldn't dial zero if I were you, stranger. Dial 1-800. Call AT&T. And you can save big bucks. All you have to do is dial right down the center. Aim right down the center. 1-800. C-A-L-L-A-T-T. It's always the same low rate. It's great, right? Call me. Collect. So call. Sweetie! I did it! For the same low rate, every minute, everywhere. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Live large. Save big. Announcing the Mercury Grand Marquis 5-star sales event. Now, its affordable luxury is even more affordable. With 0.9% financing or choose $1,500 cash back when you buy or lease Grand Marquis. With the government's highest crash test rating, 5 stars. #1 in sales, #1 in owner loyalty, #1 in trunk space, too. Hurry in now for Grand Marquis 5-star savings.
Hey, Cardinal fans, on Saturday, August 20th, when the Cardinals take on the Philadelphia Phillies, it's Hunter Hot Dog Roger Hornsby Pin Day. The first 30,000 fans with a paid admission receive a Roger Hornsby collector's pin, compliments of Hunter Hot Dogs. Also, come down early to the game and see the dedication of the statue of Roger Hornsby. That's Sunday, August 20th, when the Cardinals play the Phillies.
In-game box score. Renteria 0-for-1, J.D. Drew 0-for-2, but a great catch in right. Edmonds, 2 home runs. Clark, a home run. He's 3-for-3. Tatis, 1-for-4. Dunston, Matheny, 0-for-5 combined. And Polanco, 2-for-3. Pat Henkin, a sack, but more importantly, he has been very good on the mound. First pitch, line into left by Jeff Blum. Giving chase. Dunston can't get there to make the play. And a long strike. How long will Pat Henkin stay in this game here tonight? It's 9-1 St. Louis.
Oh, Danny, he's on 2 occasions. He has gotten through 7 innings. That's his high for the season. Both those occasions, he won the games. He has 94 pitches, so he could extend it out a little bit, get over this kind of that 7th inning hump.
Blum, Widger, and Guerrero this inning.
I sure wouldn't mind seeing Christensen, though.
And Tony La Russa had said before the game that Christensen, the big left-hander from Pittsburgh, newly acquired, was probably going to see some action at some point tonight. 1-2 pitch by Henkin. Fly ball into right. J.D. will watch that one sail away. 9-2. Blum with his 6th home run in 2000.
Pat has given up now 20 home runs in the season. And that pitch, he didn't get it as far inside as he would like to. And Mr. Versatile, there you see the off-speed pitch, down and in, and he just drops the bat head.
Only the 4th hit of the night for Montreal. And their 2nd run, it's 9-2 Cardinals.
This kid is pretty versatile in all the different places he can play, and swings the bat like that. He'll find an everyday job at one of the locations.
Here's Widger with Wilton Guerrero to follow. 1 ball and 1 strike. Widger is 1 for 2 tonight with a single, hitting .236. 1-2. Chance for the Cardinals here tonight to go up by 5 games in the Central. Cincinnati has already lost at Shea this afternoon. Atlanta up by 5.5 over the Mets. In the National League East, out west, San Francisco and Arizona. Arizona back a game. Into right center, J.D. can't make that play. Here comes a throw by Edmonds into second. And it's a double for Widger. Back-to-back base hits. 5 now on the night for Montreal. The home run and double in this inning. J.D. Drew kind of took an odd way to get to that ball.
Well, I think he's very sometimes tentative, and sometimes he's always allowing the other guy to take it. So I think he's thinking, okay, Edmonds is going to get it, so he kind of tried to slide in there and knock it down. Edmonds back there to retrieve it. Remember, Jimmy also has that hip flexor, so he's not as mobile as he normally is. And I think that was just right in the gap for both of them. And the one thing there is one guy come in front of the other, and the other guy's back behind him. Dave Duncan will come out here and kind of talk to Henkin right now after 2 hard hit balls in succession.
Timlin warming up for St. Louis. 9-2 St. Louis. You'll be seeing this on the regional sports report. Jim Edmonds, not once but twice going deep. At 11, the regional sports report on Fox Sports Net. Here's Wilton Guerrero. 9-2 Cardinals. Widger at second, nobody out. Guerrero tonight has a double. Flied out to center. 1 for 2. De La Rosa stepped on deck. No balls and 2 strikes on Wilton Guerrero. Oh-2 pitch. Slapped down the left field line and foul. 1-0-2. We see Henkin climb the ladder again, Al.
Can kind of go up there, and the key is to go up out of the strike zone, get him to chase that pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch. High in the strike zone is a hitter's.
Breaking ball hit to short. Renteria over to first. 1 away. Widger stays at second. Henkin now above 100 pitches in this game.
He's pitched so well that you just want to make sure he gets out of this inning unscathed. And if he goes through 7, he's done his job. 105 pitches thrown, and this is still a pretty good offensive ball club that Montreal has it with all their injuries.
There's a strike on the outside corner to De La Rosa. Pinch hitting for the first time here tonight.
Currently has 12 players in the disabled list, but 9 of those are pitchers.
Tomas De La Rosa has never pinch hit in his major league career. First time here tonight.
Major league career is a handful of games.
Still hasn't pinch hit, though.
And he will be pinch hit for in his career, too.
Yes. Saw him at short last night. One of their young players that comes highly touted.
He's an exciting young player. You notice that he takes charge out there.
1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. And our home plate umpire, Scott Higgins, the ball came back, tried to kick it up to catch it, and hit himself right in the face. That'll wake you up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit to short again. Good pitch by Henkin. 2 away. Got De La Rosa to chase that outside pitch. Did not go with it. Grounds out to short. There's 2 away.
See here in the 7th, he's still making quality pitches.
Here's Bergeron. Has an RBI tonight. 2 outs. Widger at second. 9-2 Cardinals.
I don't think Matheny realized he caught that ball at first, but I bet, too, with that cracked rib reaching up, it's got to be painful also. Yeah. Breaking ball that just kind of got away from him. Was he trying to deke Widger out there at second base, make him think the ball was all the way back to the backstop?
1-0 pitch. A strike, 1-1. Well, we kept on telling you about we're in the midst of 17 of 20 away from Busch Stadium, and now that's coming to a close here tonight. 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
And so many guys banged up, I can't say enough how important it was for Pat Hinken to do what he did. He went out there and he took control of the game. His teammates got him a lead. But coming off this last game of this road trip, guys banged up. If the Expos would have gotten the lead, it might have been tough to fight back.
Easy ground ball for Will Clark. We'll head to the 8th. It's 9-2 St. Louis.
Hey, what's happening, B? Nothing. Just chilling, watching the game, having a bud. What's up with... Hey, hold on a second. Hello?
What's that? Yo, hold up. Hello?
So what's up, B? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud.
Chrysler Concorde. Sophisticated styling, multi-valve V6, a spacious interior, and automatic respect wherever you park it.
Which came first, the steak burger or the customer? I can't make the steak burger until the customer orders it. And yet, paradoxically, if there was no steak burger, what brought the customer here in the first place?
Steak burgers. They order them. He cooks them. And I serve them.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. It's a playoff preview at Busch. Chipper Jones leads a menacing Braves attack. But the Cardinals' monstrous power makes them fearless. Friday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
This portion of Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, who brings freedom to the net with affordable fares and frequent flights. Log on for low fares. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of e-freedom. And by Auto Tire. We'll win you with great prices. We'll keep you with great service. We're in Montreal. Some Cardinal fans. Siamese twins down there. Here at Olympic Stadium, among the sparse crowd here at Olympic Stadium. 9-2 Redbirds. Catching now for Montreal, Michael Barrett, new pitcher on the mound as well. Scott Strickland, the right-hander. Here's Matheny. 0-2. Scott Strickland, part of our call to the bullpen, brought to you by Lowe's. Call Lowe's for all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
27 times, got a couple saves, 2-1 record. He was one of the guys on the disabled list earlier this year. Missed 52 games with shoulder tendonitis.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike Matheny, who was struck out, grounded into a double play back in the 4th. Grounded to short in the 5th. And strikes out for the first out here in the 8th.
I would guess that Strickland had some physical problems last year as he pitched in Jupiter, Harrisburg, Ottawa, and then the Expos. So he went from A-ball, AA, AAA, and the Expos all in one season.
Here is Polanco. Hit the ball hard 3 times. He's 2 for 3. Runs scored. Takes a ball. Eduardo Perez has stepped on deck, so that signals the end of Henkin's night. That goes 7 innings. Gives up 5 hits. And there's a base hit for Polanco. Just inside the right field line. Around first he goes. Around second he goes. Heading into third, and he is safe.
You talk about a throwing arm. I mean, Guerrero had to have some kind of problems down the right field corner. And Polanco did slow up at second base. He was like content coming in there. So we're going to time it, but it won't be an accurate reading because he almost stopped at second base. That's what Oquendo's talking about. Pick me up. I'll tell you where it is. The play's behind you. But it's Polanco's 3rd hit of the night. And watch him when he goes to second base. See, he slows down, almost going to stop, and then restarts the engines. And Guerrero almost throws him out, and he had to be on the warning track out in the right field corner and throws it all the way on the line.
We saw him throw last night behind Tatis, who had a big turn at first after base hit into right. Nearly got him. Polanco with the triple. 9-2 Cardinals, their 10th hit of the night. And here's Perez, a chance to make it a 10-2 game. 3 for 4, Polanco tonight. Chop foul. 0-2.
So Henkin is through. He goes to 7 innings, so he allows the 2 runs. One of them on a solo home run, and gives up only 5 hits. So good outing.
No balls and 2 strikes on Perez. Just 1 out, infield in, and Perez is caught looking. Strikes out. Out number 2 here in the 8th. Edmonds and Clark, those 2, a big night combined. 3 home runs and 7 RBIs between them. 9-2 Redbirds. Up to Renteria, who is in that leadoff spot. Fernando Vina was there, but was taken out of the game after a bunt single. Dove into first base. Was lifted from the game midway through. Like he may have injured his thumb or his hand. We'll get better word as we come to the end of this game. Seemed to be okay, though, Al, when they were working on him, but with such a big lead, probably a precautionary move.
Well, the explanation was a jammed left thumb, and just get some treatment on that, and hopefully he'll be all right by Friday.
Renteria went around. 2 balls and a strike.
Now, looking at Strickland, who Renteria is facing, he didn't have any physical problems last year. He just made the rise all the way through this chain. And it was his 3rd year in pro ball.
2-1 pitch. 3-1.
Studied criminology for 3 years at University of New Mexico. And then during the 98-99 offseason, he was a substitute teacher.
Pitch. Full count. Those media guides are awfully useful, aren't they?
No.
Not many people knew that he was a substitute teacher out.
Exactly. In the Klein School District on the north side of Houston.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And he walked him. 2-out walk issued to Renteria, and it's up to J.D. Drew.
He also worked at the Tom Ball Sports Medicine Clinic teaching pitching and infield.
Give me that book. I'm going to shut it up right now.
His hobbies are golf, hunting, and fishing.
Give me the book. No more media guide for you tonight. Give me that thing. Give it back to you when you come back to reality. sometime
You're
next year.
assuming I've been there. I hope I never go.
Up to J.D. Drew and a base hit into left. A 10-2 St. Louis lead and an RBI for J.D. Drew. His 43rd of the season.
Andy, you talk about a lob serve, or you talk about somebody going up there and not swinging for the fences. Watch this swing. Just making contact, just popping those wrists. Finds a hole in the left side, and another RBI, 43rd for J.D. and a base hit.
Third time he has been aboard here tonight.
He's walked 2 previous times and scored 2 runs. Go on, Jimmy Edmonds.
Make it a 3-home run night. Edmonds has 2 tonight. Up there hacking. 0-1. Edmonds tonight. Homered twice. 3-run shot in the 3rd, 2-run shot in the 5th. He walked in the 7th. Only time he made it out was back in the 1st.
Jimmy getting close to equaling his career high of home runs. That was 33 and 95 with the Angels.
1 ball and 1 strike on Jim Edmonds. First and second, 2 outs. And 2 balls and 1 strike. Paul Jacket, he pulled off the steal of the year. Getting Jim Edmonds. Ken Bottenfield now with Philadelphia. Ron Gant. 2-1 pitch. Laced right at the first baseman, Lee Stevens, and that's the 3rd out. So Edmonds just about every time tonight has hit the ball very hard. Another run for St. Louis. It's 10-2 Redbirds.
Welcome to the Crown Hotel. Allow us to show you to your room. Take care of every need. Suggest some amazing sights. And of course, you'll need some help with your bags. The Crown Hotel at the Casino Queen, directly across from the Gateway Arch. Call now for reservations. And ask about the Redbird Special, featuring 2 cards tickets with a night stay.
A Harley-Davidson motorcycle and a pickup truck. Each your own little part of the American dream. Now you can make it reality in the Quick Trip Pepsi American Dream Sweepstakes. All summer long, you can enter for a chance to win a Harley-Davidson XL8 Sportster 883 and a Ford Limited Edition Harley-Davidson F-150 pickup truck. Visit any participating St. Louis area Quick Trip location for your chance to win your own little part of the American dream. Brought to you by Quick Trip and Pepsi. So enter today.
Great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
How many fingers? Taste fine.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Move to the bottom of the 8th here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. 10-2 Redbirds on 11 hits, 3 home runs for St. Louis. And an 8-run lead here in the final game of this 3-game set. Well, are you ready for an Oberman fix? Sunday night sports just got a whole lot better as the Keith Olbermann Evening News premieres Sunday, August 6th at 10 on Fox Sports Net. Each Sunday night, Keith provides his unique perspective on the world of sports, wrapping up a week's events and taking a look forward as to what's ahead. The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sunday nights at 10. Only on Fox Sports Net. New pitcher, left-hander Jason Christensen.
Now, a lot of people look at that 2-8 record, and if you look at his numbers, they really don't add up.
Right on cue, base hit into left.
You know what I'm saying is opponents are only batting .207 against him, and he says it's just been sort of a nightmarish evening or a year. Left-handed batters only batting .200 against Christensen, and he's got a tight little breaking ball, a slider. He's got a pretty good fastball. And You know, it's probably his location has been off, but in 38 innings pitched, only 28 hits allowed. He's only allowed 2 home runs, and he struck out 41. So more strikeouts than innings pitched. And the 2-8 record is appearing in his 45th game. That's as many game appearances as Dave Beers has made this year. So we just need to get him out here, get him on track, get him relaxed a little bit. But I still think he's going to be hopeful.
Here is Andy Tracy. Good pitch there from Christensen.
And we're going to use him more as a situational left-hander. So this is what you have to judge him by, is what he'll do with Tracy.
A left-handed hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tracy tonight has struck out twice. Takes a ball. 2-1. Day off tomorrow for the Redbirds, and then it's back home to Busch Stadium. The Atlanta Braves come to town. 2 balls and a strike. 2-2. Pitch on the outside corner.
In the last couple of years, Christensen has had a little trouble with his up into his neck region. He gets these spasms and everything, but kids from Omaha, Nebraska, and times I've watched him pitch, I've liked what I've seen.
Foul back, 2-2. Pitched on Sunday and against left-handers.
See, you look at
214 and 204 against righties.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at those numbers, it doesn't equate to a 2-8 record. Come to a better ball club. You've got the benefit, some seasoned veteran pitchers to help him out and try and straighten out things.
2-2 pitch. Foul back. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitched Sunday for the Pirates, and he and Gene Lamont got into it a little bit. Christensen flipped the ball to Lamont as he was taken out, and those 2 exchanged words in the clubhouse. They made up, and then
they traded him.
Then they said, see you later.
Well, maybe that's good. Maybe that's why he became available.
2-2 pitch. Laced down the right field line, and that ball is just foul.
Off-speed pitch, left it a little bit too much in the middle of the plate. Talking to Marty Mason about him, the Cardinals bullpen catcher, and I said, saw him warm up a little bit last night. I said, what'd you think? And he said, got a real kind of late break action on his slider. His fastball got a little tailing movement to it. Let's see if he locates this fastball. Matheny trying to make the hitter think it's in. He misses location, but he throws it by him.
First strikeout for Jason Christensen is a St. Louis Cardinal. 1 away. Brings in Guerrero.
See, Matheny set up away. He misses with a location, but he's got enough power on it that he could throw it by a hitter.
Guerrero has been quiet tonight. Reached base 1 time via the walk. It was picked off. Fouls that away. To make a case that this is the best talent in the major leagues right now. And the true definition, as Al says, of a 5-tool player.
He's still raw in many areas, but there is phenomenal talent to work with.
No balls and a strike. 1-1. Christensen is an important guy, Al, because not only do you use him as a situational lefty, but with switch hitters, you can turn guys around. It's another element in that bullpen. 1-1 pitch. Pop to the right side. Clark gives chase. That'll find the seats. 1-2 on Vladimir Guerrero.
That person sitting there, and the ball hit him right on top of the head. Jill Lewis is feeling much better. She got her 50 stitches taken out the other night, or yesterday, I think it was.
1-2 pitch. Old tapper left side. Tatis only played a first. Safe at first is Guerrero. Throw is high. Clark had to jump, and Guerrero is hustling all the way.
Well, and he takes such a big swing, but he can still show you one of those 5 tools, the speed. As Fernando comes in here, and on the exchange, he throws the ball. It goes up, and you see him come down on the base before Will's foot does. They score that a base hit.
Second in this inning. That should have been an out. Here is Lee Stevens down the right field line and foul. Rope into the seats. Stevens tonight has struck out twice. Grounded out to end the 6th. Will Clark. 0 for 3. Guerrero at first. Bedro at second. First and second. And a 1-1 count. Be nice for the Cardinals to come home, won't it?
Yes, it will.
A little bit.
And stay longer than 3 days.
Yeah. 1-1 pitch. Fouled away. 1-2. Walt Jockney said that the Cardinals had 4 needs that they had to address. Lefty in the bullpen, righty in the bullpen, a catcher, and a first baseman, and they went out. Ownership spent some more money. They have made the commitment. This team is in a pennant drive. Fly ball into center. Edmonds going back, and that is out of here. 3-run home run for Lee Stevens. Number 20 on the season. RBI 60, 61, and 62.
This guy can hit. He had that reputation. He came to Montreal as part of a 3-team trade. He comes from Texas, and that ball up, out over the plate. He gets the arms extended. It's only the 3rd home run that Christensen has allowed this year. But he gets them right back in the race. They cut the lead in half, 10-5 now. David Segui went from Toronto to Texas, and he's now with Cleveland. And Brad Fulmer went from the Expos to Toronto.
Here is Jeff Blum. He is homered tonight. Last time up, he went deep. He's lined out and also grounded out. 1 for 3. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wager to follow. Season average at 286 for Jeff Blum. Good pitch there on the inside corner. 1-2. Mike Timlin throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. Comes a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Was acquired on Sunday from Pittsburgh. The minor leaguer Jack Wilson, who was playing at Double-A Arkansas. 2-2 pitch. Full count. Cardinals addressed those 4 needs that we talked about earlier without giving up guys like Morris or Drew or any of their top-notch young talent.
And I think if you really think about it, Paul Jockney made a run at Juan Gonzalez. Bill DeWitt made a run at Mike Mussina.
You don't think they're serious about winning?
Well, that's all along, and it goes right back to the commitment that the Cardinal fans have made to the team by going to the ballpark, buying tickets, where the ownership has said, okay, we can reinvest, get better players. And Walt's done a terrific job in doing so.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Rip foul. Look out.
Wow, that sounded like it hit somebody.
Luckily, it only hit some of the iron down there.
The thing right now with Christensen, everything is one speed.
Yeah.
Is not a variation, enough of a variation between the fastball and the slider.
3-2 pitch. Fly ball left field. Dunston back to the wall. Makes the play. Out number 2. And Blum was looking for his 2nd consecutive home run instead of fly out. And out number 2 here in the 8th. And it's up to Widger.
And he's gonna have to do it against Timlin.
Mike Timlin will enter this game. We've seen him an awful lot the last few days, and on this road trip, first in New York and here in Montreal, Christensen is done for the night. Gave up 3 runs in his Cardinal debut. Part of our call to the bullpen brought to you by Lowe's. Call Lowe's for all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, improving home improvement. 10-5 St. Louis.
Jeff? Which U.S. hockey team has won the most Stanley Cups?
If only every question was a sports question. Sports Geniuses, the game show that tests your sports IQ. Weeknights at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
You're there to do a job, you're focused. This is a team. And no one person on the team is more important than the other. You're into your job.
Got the whole world watching. The journalists.
You want to get on the air, you got to bust your butt and get something special.
I got best seat in the house.
Going deep with
Chris Myers.
Dealing with the celebrity part of it, and when does it become too much?
This is not easy.
This is no longer a sports problem, it's a social issue.
Let's talk about the facts. Is he a danger to society?
I have a lot to be mad about,
Right.
but who does it?
The sport itself may need a complete overhaul.
I knew that it couldn't get any worse.
So who would you say you trust the most?
There's so much at stake now.
It's about getting it right.
Going deep
With Chris Myers.
Sundays at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
Jason Christensen made his Cardinal debut here tonight and did not look good, so he'll turn it over to Mike Timlin. Not a great outing for Christensen, but you know that he will work on number 1, changing speeds, and that's what you saw, Al, didn't you?
Well, yeah, it just seemed like he tried to throw everything too hard. There's no finesse in the game, and really tries to, learn how to back off a little bit and hit spots and pitch a little bit. He really short arms the ball. But Mike Timlin will come over here, and he's appearing already for the 3rd time wearing the Cardinal uniform. He had 11 saves. That was leading Baltimore at the time, and pitching 37 games over there. 110 saves in his career in the postseason.
1 pitch hit into left off the bat of Widger, and out. Timlin 1 pitch. Clark, Tatis, Dunston due up. We'll head to the 9th.
Surface contact bearing 190. Dive! Rick Road required. Engine track.
There's another one. And another. Oh, my. A 4th one.
You have more important things to worry about than your car. That's our job. And during our 24th anniversary sale, when you purchase 4 Goodyear, Michelin, Fulda, Toyo, or Cordovan tires, you get a coupon worth $24 off your next purchase at Dobbs. Hey, you have more important things to worry about than your car. That's our job. Dobbs.
You've got to come to Sonic to try the homemade taste of a banana, coconut, or new chocolate cream pie shake, all swirled with bits of graham cracker crust and topped with real whipped cream. Pair one now with a Sonic burger for a special low price. Sonic, your summer flavor place.
Scores and highlights are only half the story. Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage.
Every pro score every 10 minutes.
More analysis.
This team has unity.
More opinions.
That is going too far.
Plus, live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
Our team covers the sports scene like you've never seen.
What a hit!
The National Sports Report. Nightly at 10 and midnight on Fox Sports Net. Miss it, miss out.
Head to the ninth here in Montreal. 10-5 St. Louis. 10-11-0 for the Cardinals. 5-8-0 for Montreal. Don't forget, coming up at 10 on Fox Sports Net, the National Sports Report. Athletes and politics. Earnhardt Jr. in the open mic segment. And Kevin Mitchell erupts. Apparently hit a minor league owner and is bid to come back in baseball. All the details on Kevin Mitchell going off tonight at 10 on the National Sports Report. You see Will Clark. You also see Jim Edmonds. Those two have homered here tonight at Olympic Stadium. 10-5 Redbirds. First pitch from Forster is a strike to Will Clark, and what a debut for Will the last couple of days. 4 for 4 now with the Cardinals.
People now know why they call him the Thrill.
He's looked good so far. Very good.
And Danny's one of those guys that I've always appreciated the way he's played the game. Plays it the way it is supposed to be played.
Scott Forster on the mound. New left-hander in for the Montreal Expos. Pitch both Sunday and Saturday against Cincinnati here at Olympic Stadium. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Will Clark. We're in the ninth. Clark, Tatis, and Dunston for St. Louis.
It's 25 pitchers this year, so I mean they've gone through the major league roster, just about all of their AAA team.
2-2 on Will Clark. Clark tonight, home run, base hit, walk, another single. 3 for 3. So in his 5 appearances at the plate, last 2 nights, been on base 5 times. Just got a piece there. Two balls and 2 strikes. Dave Veers throwing in the Redbird bullpen.
Now, Dave, you know, had that little twinge in his shoulder when he was playing with his infant. And he did throw the other day, so with the off day tomorrow, it makes perfect sense to give him a little work.
Fly ball into shallow left. And they got him finally. We knew it was going to happen, but Will Clark has made it out.
Probably thought it wouldn't happen in his entire career as a Cardinal. He probably never made it out, right?
He's intense.
Oh.
He's upset.
Plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. Yep.
Third base.
I hate to see him in a slump. Tatis steps in, nobody on, 1 away. No balls and a strike on Fernando. Tatis has doubled here tonight, grounded into a double play. Fly to center, struck out. 1-1 pitch. Good pitch here by Forster. 1-2. Day off tomorrow. Atlanta in town for the first of 3 over the weekend. That's on Friday night on Fox Sports Net. Look out. 2-2. Now, if you look at the schedule, after the Atlanta series, the schedule is lightened up a bit against teams that aren't close to the caliber of Atlanta, at least not in the standings and record-wise.
Yeah, it's a very favorable schedule after you play Atlanta, and a lot of clubs that are second division clubs that you're playing, but sometimes it's easier to play the better clubs.
And just to get home would be nice. Off the end of the bat, into center. Now number 2. Teases 1 for 5 on the night. That'll bring in Dunston. Sean tonight, fly to left, walk, has an RBI, so fly to center. He's 0 for 2. Now with 35 RBIs on the year. First pitch to him. Low and away. Mike Matheny on deck. Now wearing number 44. Two 2-0 on Dunston. You heard the announced attendance here tonight?
No.
Looks like it's less than last 2 nights, doesn't it?
Yes.
2-0 pitch. Fly ball, right field. Vladimir Guerrero is there. 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander Scott Forster. And to the bottom half of the ninth. 10-5 St. Louis.
I'm Rob Nikolewski. Coming up tonight on the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, the Cards finally wrap up their long 20-game stretch in which they've played 17 games on the road. We'll have highlights from Montreal. Meantime, Royals pitcher Blake Stein pitched a great game this afternoon at Yankee Stadium as the Royals beat New York 4-1. We've got the details. We'll also have the latest from Rams and Chiefs training camps. It was family day for the Chiefs, the players mingling with the fans. We've got that story and a whole lot more tonight on the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report.
Never give up, never surrender.
From out-of-work actors
By the sons of Warvan, I shall avenge you.
to outer space heroes.
You will save us.
We are actors, not astronauts.
DreamWorks Pictures invites you to bravely go
Hi, little guy.
where no comedy has gone before. Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Galaxy Quest.
Concert event of the summer. It's the Rolling Rock Town Fair from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Starring the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Filter. Moby. A truly unique gathering of music. Don't miss the Rolling Rock Town Fair. Rolling Rock Town Fair! Yeah, the Chili Peppers are on Dish on Demand.
Redbirds are 3 outs away from a victory here in Montreal. Taking 2 of 3 from the Expos. They lead it 10-5. Jim Edmonds has been outstanding tonight, and he is our Budweiser play of the game.
Jim Edmonds, the 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. This was the second home run of the evening. And he just ties his career high in RBIs with 5 and his 11th multi-home run night.
So that is our play of the game, brought to you by Budweiser, the beer with the fresh, clean taste. It's never filling. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Big night for Edmonds. Also, Will Clark, a big night. 3 hits, including a home run. Clark's home run got the Redbirds on the board early on, and they never looked back.
Well, 3 outs, and you win this series, and you go home.
9,669 in attendance here at Olympic Stadium. Here's Wilton Guerrero.
Yeah, Danny, certain things work for a reason, but it's good to get Dave Veers back on the mound. He did throw on Sunday. That was the first time he had pitched in a week.
Greeted with a base hit off the bat of Guerrero. Leadoff base hit here in the ninth.
And you want Dave to get out there because he was a little tentative, but he realized it didn't hurt to throw. On the off day last Monday, he was playing with his 19-month-old child and found that the child's weight of 25 pounds put a strain on his shoulder. He felt kind of embarrassed about it, but those things happen. You get him out here and get command of his pitches again, and kind of then he's going to be better off when he has to go pick up a save against the Atlanta Braves.
Here is Lenny Webster, former Twin, now in his third tour of duty with the Expos, 35 years of age, hitting 177, no homers and 2 RBIs. Double play candidate here. 90-mile-an-hour fastball way outside, 2-0. Andy Bennis, Tom Glavine on Friday night at Busch Stadium. 6:30 with the telecast on Fox Sports Net. 2-0 pitch. Little chopper. Beers' only play is to first. Wilton Guerrero moves up to second. And there's one out.
Thought that would have been a much closer play, but it bounced high off the turf. And, of course, he rushed his throw, but he was really under control.
That'll bring in Bergeron. Has an RBI tonight. Walked a couple of times. It's 0 for 2. Hitting .242. There's a strike from Dave Ears. Of course, this is not a save situation. Dave has not had much activity as of late. Last time he appeared was on Sunday. Great play by Matheny. Dave pitched on Sunday at New York for the first time in a week, working a scoreless inning. Did allow a walk and a hit, though. But no damage. 1-1 pitch to Bergeron, swing and a miss. 1-2. Big night for Edmonds, big night for Clark. 11 hits on the night for the Redbirds. 1-2 pitch. Hit right side. Clark takes it, flips to Veers. He can't handle it. Gets away. Run will score. That makes it 10-6. And Bergeron will move up to second.
Well, let's take a look at this exchange. We saw last night he flips the ball backhand, and it looked like it was a little bit behind Dave Veers. Ideally, you want to make that shovel pass out in front to where he can catch the ball and then look down for the base. He was kind of caught to the point where he kind of guessed where the throw was going to be and then looked down to step on the base and missed the throw.
That'll bring in Vidro.
They gave a base hit on that. Wow. That was generous.
So a hit and an error charged on that play.
But I mean, how can you give a hit? Yeah, it's just a two-base error.
Yeah. No balls and a strike on Vidro, who had a base hit back in the 8th. His only hit tonight. Now he's got 2. Pass Paquette and the left. And Dunston will just run it in. 2-hit night for Vidro. First and third. And only one out. And the tying run is on deck in Vladimir Guerrero. And here is Tracy, and Cardinals will get that bullpen active.
And That's the worst thing, that you're trying to get one. You're trying to win this game right quickly in the 9th inning, but you're really trying to sit there and get Dave Beers back on track. Mike James gets the call. He's the one warming up in the Cardinals bullpen right now. And Dave Beers, have strained that shoulder a little bit, and as a reliever, you really don't want to go much more than 2 days without throwing.
Here is Andy Tracy. He has struck out 3 times tonight. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Should be 2 away. Remember, he had that chopper right back at him. Off the plate to get 1 out. And the shovel throw by Will Clark at first got away.
Got to be a little careful with that one, because Will Clark wasn't even on the bag.
Yep.
He was playing behind the runner at first.
No balls. 1 strike on Andy Tracy. 0-2.
Andy Tracy holds the Bowling Green University record for career home runs with 45. He's got a little pop in his bat, but it's also got a hole in it tonight.
0-2 on Tracy. He's struck out 3 times, and don't be afraid to put one in the dirt here and have him chase it. Got a guy in Matheny, it's not going anywhere. Got him. Big strikeout. And now Guerrero does not represent the tying run. That's a big, big strikeout. 4 strikeouts now for Tracy tonight. Tough night for him.
That was the splitter that struck out Tracy. Guerrero got that infield single last time up, but Pat Hinken pitched him really tough. And what they did was a lot of inside pitches.
Up to Vladimir Guerrero to extend this game. First pitch to him. Big swing and a miss. Beers and Guerrero here in the ninth. We got first and third. See if they even come close to giving Guerrero some to hit. 0-1 pitch. Way outside, 1-1.
Well, you can get in trouble by pitching around him in this situation, too. Dave Beers is a veteran. He knows what he's doing out there.
Man on deck, Stevens has a home run here tonight. He's got a lot of pop. 20 on the year.
They'll give him a lot of the splitters.
1-1 pitch, fouled away, 1-2. So Beers and the Redbirds are a strike away.
Danny, the improvement in Guerrero. Pitchers used to sit there and try to throw him, get ahead of him, then throw breaking balls down and away. Now he goes down and he covers that plate. Definitely away.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Guerrero.
Misses in the middle of the plate. Called a balk.
And they called a balk, and Tony La Russa wants to talk this one over.
I'm wondering on this. I'm wondering if in Angel Hernandez, I understand the first game of the series. And I think what Tony's saying, why are you calling a balk? It's not a running situation. And now Angel's going to get his attitude. But I wonder, too, they warned Matheny in the first game of the series and said they were going to throw him out for this ridiculous thing that they're interpreting, that a catcher has to stay in the catching lanes. But he's saying this was against Dave Beers, not coming to a discernible stop. There are times where you're trying, the reason for a balk is you're deceiving a runner. And what Tony's arguing, it's not a running count. How can you deceive somebody that's not trying to run against you?
Here it is. Let's see what happened. If Beers came to a stop What exactly did he do?
Well, he did not come to a stop. Watch what they're saying. He comes down and he pitches. But there was a pause there.
Take away that ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Guerrero. 10-7, Cardinals lead it. We're in the 9th. 2-2. See what Matheny calls for here. 2-2 pitch. Hit into left. Going back and making the play is Dunston. Wow. Wow. Makes a play in left, and the Cardinals have their 59th victory of the season. 10-7.
Steve Here's wants the interpretation of that. But let's watch Tony La Russa. Dunston took a very poor approach and angle. He started coming in on that ball, and then he realized he had to go back. Dunston feels much more comfortable in center field.
Jim Edmonds, a huge night. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 10-7. The Redbirds win it and take 2 of 3 here in Montreal.
Flying to Chicago Midway for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Chicago Midway, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's real.
Steak and Shake, may I help you? Hello? Hello?
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
33 years, 186 million batteries, over 700 billion starts. And now, Die Hard is stopping. Car thieves. Introducing the Die Hard Security Battery, the only battery that attacks auto theft at the source. The power source. Die Hard Security. To learn more, call us or come see it at Sears. The good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Grandpa, how do we get a bigger house?
These days, most people click on Gundaker.com.
Gundaker.com is St. Louis's premier home source. At Gundaker.com, you can browse over 3,000 listings with over 2,000 agents to assist with all your home buying needs.
Remember, kids, we're more than a real estate company. We're a family.
Let Gundaker be your family realtor.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net was brought to you by Doc Otis, a new flavored alcohol malt beverage. Real lemon, a real refreshment. Unlock the Doc. Thanks for being with us here in Montreal. Our final score tonight, 10-7, as Pat Henkin picks up victory number 10. Join us for our next Cardinals telecast. That'll be on Friday night as the Cardinals take on the Atlanta Braves in the first of 3, Andy Bennis against Tom Glavine. This copyrighted telecast has been an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net in association with Bud Sports. For Al Rabowski and all the gang from St. Louis here in Montreal, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Stay tuned for Sports Geniuses, followed by The Last Word.
A good rinse from time to time will maintain the long-lasting beauty of